Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, are you sure you don't have any extremist friends? And Walt Disney World just got now even more woke than before, and Chestnut wins again. And are you ready for Skrinkflation? All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Did you survive the 4th of July weekend? Oh, my God. We got a whole bunch of stories to get into about that. So stick around for that as well. So before I continue over to my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back. It's another great day here.
You look good. Thanks for dressing up, by the way.
Yes. Thank you. It was quite an effort.
Well, I mean, normally I put on the hair and makeup, and I take the rosacea out of my skin, and I do my hair, and I shave and everything, and you show up in a baseball cap and a half-rip, what is that, a Billy Idol T-shirt or something?
Actually, it's an airport in France, which I had to look it up.
What's it?
Yeah.
Well, what's it say on it, Dan?
It says Pays Basque. It's an airport in France.
All right. So did you have a good 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, it was quiet. We had the dog. We're watching our neighbor's dog, and the fireworks are driving the dog crazy.
Well, speaking of driving everyone crazy, this new storm that's coming through, was it tropical? Now it's Tropical Storm Elsa. Have you ever been through a hurricane or anything like that, Dan? Now, I'm from Florida, so this is nothing new to me. Have you been through any hurricanes here in the Carolinas? Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we sit on about 22 some odd acres, and we have horses and chickens and cattle and bears and all that stuff. Dan, have you been through a hurricane or any kind of like big storm like this?
I wouldn't call it a hurricane, but we did have a big storm that wiped out a lot of trees, landed on about 4 or 5 houses in our development.
Here
one
in the
was hurt.
Carolinas?
Yeah, here in the Carolinas. No one was hurt. Damaged a lot of roofs of houses.
What year was this?
Probably 6-7 years ago.
Oh, really? I was here 6-7 years ago. I guess I was part of the storm. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, you might have been sleeping.
I might have been sleeping. But here's the funny part. So I'm watching the Fox 46 News here in the Charlotte area, and they were going, and we're going live to Clearwater. Well, it could be Clearwater Beach down in Florida. Suzanne, what's going on down there? And, they always stand out in the middle of the road and they're like going, well, the wind's picking up here, Tom, and we've asked a couple people here, how are they handling the storm? Now, keep in mind, Clearwater Beach is a native, it's a regular Floridian town. It's not like a tourist town. So everyone that lives there is from Florida or has been in Florida for any length of time. So they're like going, and what are you going to do with the storm? And they're all like going, well, we're just going to eat and drink beer. And everyone's like, everyone's hunkering down. I started laughing so hard. I'm like, there's no way that these people are saying that they're going to hunker down for a tropical storm.
And I see you ever notice that they're sending these people out that are the newscasters are always the people that are just on their way out the door, and they said, well, we're not going to fire them. We're going to send, there was a woman, Shelby Scott. They would only send her out in snowstorms, ice storms, lightning.
To make her quit?
She needed the money. She was a has-been, and, she was way past her time. She's getting older, but she needs the money, so that's the one that nobody else would go out there.
And it's funny when you say that they send the news reporters out there, and the news reporters have like their Fox logos or their ABC logos or CBS logos all over, and they got the hat and the umbrella and the cap, and they're interviewing these people in Florida, and they're in flip-flops and tank tops and T-shirts, and they're like going, what are you doing to prepare for the storm? And, like I said, we're just going to eat and drink beer all day. It's a tropical storm. This is, believe it or not, for those that don't know Florida, a tropical storm is every day 3 o'clock from July all the way to September in the state of Florida.
It's like Vermont. Nobody would ask you, is it going to snow? Because it snowed every day, and they never called school off. They didn't even, it was like the tropical storm at 3 o'clock every afternoon. It didn't matter to anybody.
Now, when I moved up here to the Carolinas, I started working for this paper company just part-time. There's a bunch of riffraffs in there. Anyways, but they would always talk about, I'd say, hey, I'm from Florida. How many hurricanes you been through? I'm like going, I think I lost count after I was 5 years old. I lost count. And, now I'm older in age. Of course, I'm not 6 playing this thing. But they go, well, I remember the time in 1985 when Hugo came through and wiped out everything. And I'm like going, 85? I think I was 10 in 85. But they keep going back. Everyone talks about, was it Hugo that came through?
I think that was in 85. What I remember the most is in Massachusetts, the blizzard of 78.
Nobody cares about blizzards or snow. We're talking about rainstorms.
This is like 28 inches of snow fell in about 10 hours. Cars were stranded on the highways everywhere. People died in their cars.
How they die in their cars? Because of freeze or just asphyxiation?
All the highways were blocked up. You're in your car, you're sitting there, and you either froze to death or carbon monoxide poisoning. Lots of people died. It was a deadly storm.
Well, I thought I was going to die the other day. So we had the 4th of July weekend, and I hope everyone's got all 10 toes and all 10 fingers still. Dan's got a story about a guy who his whole entire job was protecting something, and then something stupid happened, and he ended up dying. We'll get into his story here a bit later. But so we had a bunch of fireworks here, and it wasn't too bad here around the property. Now, we've got a lot of open land here, a lot of trees and forestry and everything that surrounds us. So if there's anything peculiar that's in the air, you can almost tell right away. Like if a skunk gets hit out on the road, you can smell it instantly here in where we're at. So I'm outside, I was doing something in the yard, and I saw and smelled smoke coming across our property. Now, for those of you who don't know, we don't have trash pickup, so it's nothing for us to see smoke like burn. You know what burning garbage sounds or smells like, right?
I know what it sounds like. I have no idea what it smells like.
Well, flip that around and pretend that you know what it smells like. So if I smell that, I'm like, okay, the neighbors over there, they're burning their weekly trash. That's fine. It's acceptable. But when you actually smell like burning wood, burning leaves, you kind of just stand up a little bit and you go, all right, so where's that coming from? Well, I looked over to my other side. Now, my neighbor's got, I think, 6 kids. I've lost count after a while there. And he was out of town. I know the wife was there, and they were doing 4th of July stuff. They weren't doing like big not sparklers, but big like rocket up in the air type stuff. I know they were celebrating, having a good time. So the next morning I'm driving around the property because I saw this like kind of haze of smoke that was coming across our property, and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Sure enough, I look next door and it's in the woods. Now, we have a fire pit that we burn all our trash, so it's separate from everything.
Controlled burn.
Controlled burn. It's about a 10-foot pit. It's got looks like Mogadishu with all the rocks and everything around it. Building destroyed. It's all these rocks and everything around, or bricks. And so we pull everything in there and light it on fire. This was coming out of their woods, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, next door, are you guys burning like leaves and stuff?" And he's like, "Going, I don't know. I'm out of the state." He's a pilot. I'll check and find out. Sure enough, the second youngest child, he's like 9 years old, was playing with sparklers and threw them in their little leaf pile. They were out. I'm done. Threw them out there in the leaf pile, caught them on fire.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't intentionally starting the fire.
It wasn't intentional. And I was like, all right, so I didn't want to be nosy, so I'm driving by with my side-by-side, and I pull up, a little Polaris, and I pull up, and, I'm probably about 200 feet away, and I could see smoke, but I don't see anyone standing around the smoke. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird for them, being who they are, to have an unattended smoke, let alone a fire, unattended over there.
So did you go put it out?
No, I texted him, and he was like, oh, yeah, the youngest one, or the second youngest one, threw some sparklers in there. He'll go out there and pee on it or something easy. And he made a joke about it. I'm like, all right, as long as you guys know, because your woods and your forestry backs up to my woods and forestry, and I got hay in the shed. I've got, all these wood buildings and stuff.
Okay, now I asked that, do we have an escape plan for the studio? Do we have a fire extinguisher? What do we do? We have
a fire extinguisher. I'm drinking them right now. Eventually, it will become a fire extinguisher. But we do have 2 exits. There's a hole in that wall there, and a hole in that wall, they're access panels just to get out to the wiring that's in the studio. So if we have a fire in the studio, it's every man for himself, Dan. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as I know I can escape, that's good. I have to have means of egress.
All right, guys, stick around. We got a big show today. We got a chicken recall. We have Up to Speed with Technology with Dan, and we're going to do a little bit of an entertainment report, and we'll see how that goes. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
When you say things
Oh, shit, I didn't flip it over. Oh, well.
when you say things backwards, you screw me up. And I'm trying to turn it right side up again. When you're talking about sound, if you can have what smoke sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all right. How's your throat?
Yeah, it's better. That lozenge helps.
You ever had that before?
Yeah, once in a while, like last week.
That lozenger?
No,
That type of lozenger?
no, I'm talking about having the throat dry like
Oh.
that. Scratchy. What's that noise?
That's the ring camera out front.
It's hard to hear it over the lawnmower. It's not running.
I'm surprised that it's not running. I think I should just leave the... Well, if I leave it on... See, that's the thing. The ring camera that we have outside is solar powered. I've got Amy bought me a solar plate that attaches to it. So if I have it run all the time, it'll drain the actual camera that's out there. I forgot to flip it over, damn it. Well, the first part of the show will be black and white.
What do you mean?
That whole segment was done with this in the background. I didn't flip it over to this for us talking.
How many people watch the show? Do you know?
On Twitch, 7 million.
Oh, okay. So you're good at times tables, maybe not good at the other math.
Right. And then people on YouTube, 4 million. All right. Let's talk about a 4-day work week, and we'll go into Extremist Friends. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course, everyone wants to be heard. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little blue bar that says Be Heard. And what it does is open up a microphone right on your tablet, on your PC, on your phone, whatever you're listening to us on. And then you can leave us a message based on any question you want to ask me or ask Dan. And over on my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Our podcast is so wide world spread. Some people will be listening to it. Listen to my English. Could be listening to it at 4 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock at night. So
Yes, you can have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
we are. And so if you want to be heard, click on the Be Heard section, and it opens up a bar or opens up a microphone on your tablet or whatever, and you can be part of the show. You want to be part of the show. Now, for those of you out there that are listening to the podcast and working, everyone's getting back in the groove of things. Everyone's getting back to the grind. The offices are being opened up for anyone who's vaccinated. There's a whole there's a whole problem with people. Companies won't let you back in because you're not vaccinated. Well, it's my right. Well, it's my right to let you work here type situation. But over in Iceland, a lot of people would say, we wish we could have worked a 4-day weekend. Here in the United States, who started the 5-day work week?
No, I'm not sure.
Henry Ford actually started the 5-day work week. He started the 5-day work week with a 40-hour work week. And what he said was, he was building all these cars and everyone was working 7 days a week, 7 days a week, 7 days a week. And he realized that no one was actually buying his cars. And he kind of, long story short, he was like going, well, how come you're not buying my cars? And his response from his workers, because he employed so many people, was because we're here all the time. we don't need to buy a car.
Where are we going to go?
Where are we going to go? So that's when he came up with a 40-hour work week. So you can blame him for that or you can thank him for that, one or the two.
I actually learned something from you.
Now, in Iceland, they're starting the trials of a 4-day work week. Now, I worked for PepsiCo while I was in college, and it was great because I worked 4 10-hour days, and I could sign up for all my classes the other 3 days. So I would work like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at PepsiCo, and then I would have Thursday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to go to school, go to college. And it was great because it freed up the middle of the week for us. Now, I know I worked with some guys who were a lot older than I was, and they had, they would work Monday through Thursday so they could have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off with their family. So, but it was a 10-hour day. Now, over in Iceland, this is coming over with overwhelming, oh God, I knew if I sat long enough, the ad would pop up. Overwhelming success by researchers on this past Sunday. The ALDA, the Association for Sustainable Democracy in Iceland, along with the UK-based think tank,
Autonomy,
yep, did a program between the years of 2015 and 2019 to reduce a work week but with no cut in pay. Studies include 2,500 workers, which is roughly 1% of the Iceland's work age population. Can you imagine that? 25,000 or 2,500 people in Iceland are 1% of the population that works. Shows that the public sector is ripe for being a pioneer for a shorter work week, and lessons can be learned for other governments. Workers who participated in the trials worked from 35 to 36 hours per week. Workers' well-being dramatically increased across a range of indicators, and perceived stress and burnout to health and work-life balance.
I think there's so many good things about a 4-day week. 3-day weeks, first of all, the people are going to have time, and just like Henry Ford's thing, they're going to spend more money, the economy is going to get better, and people aren't going to be stressed out.
But think about like a 5-day work week. A 5-day work week right now in today's society, you got too many outside distractions. You got Facebook, you got the television, you got all the stuff that's going on. A 40-hour work week, even at my peak of being busy at managing a 200,000 square foot warehouse, a production warehouse, I still killed 3 hours on the internet, just fumbling around and doing stuff.
Yeah, and
not at the beginning. Like the first year of my job, I had to make sure everything, I had to fine tune everything and do all that stuff. And then after that, and then once I got the gears and the machine going, you just basically sit back and it's maintenance.
Yeah, but I think it's a good idea for people to have a 3-day weekend. People get to relax.
Not necessarily a 3-day weekend, just 3 days off.
Yes, 3 days off.
Now, would you be okay with working like Monday, Tuesday, being off Wednesday, have one work Thursday, Friday, and have Saturday, Sunday, or do you want all the days off in a row?
Actually, I like my schedule now where I work 1 day. But no, if back in the working days, if I could do everything in 4 days, it wouldn't matter which days I had off. It'd be nice to have 2 in a row if you want to travel.
So if you if you work for retail, I don't think, well, would retail really miss, not you, Dan, because you were a very important cog in the machine over at Home Depot. But for example, if you had a full-time cashier working at Home Depot 40 hours a week, and then she was gone for like a day or took a day off, do you think the machine would shut down?
No, the machine will keep going. Yes.
But if IT Dan was sitting at the pro desk and he only worked 4 days out of the 7 days, that machine would be bogged up on the day that you weren't there.
Yeah, it was bogged up when I was there. That was, I could probably work 50 hours a week and not keep up with everything there.
Now,
very stressful.
Now, Facebook, I think they burn the midnight oil over at Facebook. But Facebook right now is asking, are your friends are becoming extremists? Don't give me any things. On July 1st, Reuters, Facebook is starting to warn some of their users about extreme content on their social media site. Really? July 1st, they're just starting to do this? Screenshots shared on Twitter show that a notice asking, are you concerned that someone that you know is becoming an extremist? And other alerts are alerted users that they may have been exposed to harmful extremist content recently. Both links have have a little link that says "Get support." Now, Dan, do you have any extremist friends?
I have some that are leaning that way. No, none that want to take over the government or go crazy, but they're leaning in that direction. I have a few friends on email that send me stuff that I look at and I go, no, this is beyond my comprehension.
Now, see, I don't know. What do they consider extremists? Let's read on. So, Facebook says that a small test, which is only the main platform, was running in the United States as a pilot for a global approach on preventing radicalization on the site. The test is part of a larger work to assess ways to provide resources and support to people on Facebook who may have engaged or were exposed to extremist content.
And there are people that are turning in their parents for the insurrection for the conduct they've done. The kids are saying, parent or not, what you're doing is beyond.
Right, for like storming the White House on January 6th. And I think this is where this is what kind of kicked it all off.
Yes, and there's a lot of the people there catching them with all the things that they have put up on Facebook, on Twitter, on their text messages, is why they're giving all the evidence to the government.
Facebook said it will test to identify both users who may have been exposed to the rule-breaking extremist content and users have previously been the subject of Facebook's enforcement. The company, which has tightened the rules against violent and hate group in recent years, which is understandable, says it does remove some content and accounts that violates the rules proactively before the material is even seen by users. But other than the content that may be viewed on other sources enforcing. So, I mean, have you seen this actual notice saying, hey, Dan, do you have extreme friends?
No, I haven't seen it. I am not on Facebook a lot. I went on the other day and advertised my wife's 2002 Honda, and it sold in about 2 minutes. 18 people were interested.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, when we come back, we'll get into this. Are you hungry yet, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, I know your wife was complaining that I don't feed you when you come over here to the Queen City studio. So
no, she just asked. She was curious.
All right, well, there you go. We'll get into some new things that are coming out and a lot more food topics here in the next few segments. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Oh, good. You got it in 9 minutes again.
Yeah, I had to make up some of the...
I have a few friends that I've canceled. The stuff they send is just, I say, no, I just can't deal with it. And I don't say anything. I just don't respond. I don't send anything out to them. And
I have a high school friend. I say a high school friend. I have a childhood friend that he had nobody. His mom had him at 16. His grandparents raised him. And I was his age, and he lived down the street from me. And I'm not talking to Palm Beach County. And my dad always played music, played the guitars and stuff. I have most of his stuff is here. I got not his guitars. I got my guitars. I got his amps and stuff here. And I showed him how to play guitar, and I showed him how to do all this stuff. Well, he's a musician now. And he thanks me, all the musician stuff, and he lives in Asheville, and he does all that stuff in Asheville, and that's where the hippies go.
yes.
But that mentality that, he literally, not to the extreme. So you don't like Republicans, you don't like Donald Trump, but you have a limitation.
But I don't like the Democrat.
For the most part,
yeah.
Like Trump, you're like going, all right, Trump is this and Trump is that, and you just go on about your day. He is literally hammer and nail. He is raping our women and cutting the tax and for the rich, and all the poor people are dying in pools of mud and despair. And I'm like going, dude, block. I gotta. If that's the way you're thinking every day, you got. There's other stuff to do, man.
Yeah, and there's people are out there on both extremes. They videotaped a woman, and she's got a shirt that says Trump and Kennedy 2021, and she's he's still alive. I believe that. And I'm just looking like, hello,
Yeah, some people are. All right, so let's
I think I'm being more selective, and I think a lot of it has to do. at a certain, over the past year, I've just had time to think. And I think, what type of people do I want to let in my life? What do I want to hold on to? What do I want to let go? I'm not going to be here forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just got really, really extreme, and I'm like going, dude, I cannot watch your post anymore. They're just horrible. Subway's back. Oh, where's the... I hate reading cold because my dyslexia kicks in. So I'll read... So bear with me, Dan.
Yeah, okay, that's good. No. And sometimes I want to jump in and help you with a word, but I want to see where
that's
you're
fine.
going to.
By all means, if you want to jump in and help me with a word, or if you want to take over, like if I go in and take a breath, if you want to take the next paragraph, if you can read it, go right ahead. I'll let you do it. I don't mind that.
I just don't want both of us reading at the same time.
No, I can stop it. All right, here we go. We'll see what happens because see all these are loading. That means there's a lot of ads and shit in there. All right, coming back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, if you want, I know, I had to sit there and think for a second, what was I going to say? I'm like, oh my God, I got some free, actually, I got some brand new stickers coming in. Actually, they should be here today. I got some nice hologram stickers of the Deacon Live logo. And if you want these stickers or any of the stickers or sticker packs that we have here, we have magnets and all that stuff. You want something for free? Of course you do. Go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the free swag section and fill out the little form. Believe me, I'm not going to sit there and email you guys all the different stuff. I just want to know where you're at, and I'll send some free swag to you. It usually comes out to you, and you'll have it probably in a day or two. Over to my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan.
Yes. Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Are you doing all right over there? You settling in?
Yes.
You sound really good. You sound happy. You sound upbeat, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, a lot of things are in better order right now in my life. So
all right.
that's good.
Well, that's good. You sold your car. You got a brand new truck. What's next on the list of Dan things to do in life?
I think I got to do a few things around my workshop.
All right.
And I want to go traveling a little bit with my wife.
Now, are you a big Taco Bell fan?
Actually, Taco Bell isn't that bad.
You like Taco Bell? Yeah. What's your favorite thing to get at Taco Bell?
Most of the time we get tacos, and just they have new items we try out all the time.
No, they don't. No, they don't have new items because they're taking new items off the thing. When's the last time you went to Taco Bell?
Probably a year ago.
Yeah, see? In the last year, they've been removing, like they took away the Mexican pizza and they took away the chalupa crunch and all this other stuff. Well, guess what, guys? Something that's coming back in full-fledged form is for anyone who missed the extra kick and heat of the Taco Bell's Doritos Locos tacos. The wait is over. The flaming hot Doritos Locos tacos is returning to Taco Bell. The fast food chain is bringing back the spicy Crimson Shell along with their Steal a Game, Steal a Taco promotion for the NBA Finals. You ever had one of the Doritos Loco?
No, I can't eat it that spicy. I have had the Doritos. I have the Doritos food that they have for them.
We mean
the tacos. Yeah, Doritos tacos.
But not the flaming one?
No.
Pussy. I'm kidding, Dan.
You're
kidding.
Just saying that because it's true.
I know. Essential to everyone's American. Everyone in America can claim a free Flamin' Hot Doritos Locos at the first time the comeback happens. All right, so I guess during the halftime, well, we're getting into the NBA Finals, and this was done on July 1st. So Taco Bell is bringing back the Flaming Hot Doritos. So there you go. Now, one of my favorites, a lot of people like, well, let's backtrack a little bit. So in Florida, we have Publix, right? Now, you're a big fan of Harris Teeter.
Yes, I like Harris Teeter.
Do you like Publix at all? I mean, shopping at Publix or the whole experience where it is a pleasure?
To be blunt with you, I've never been to a Publix.
Okay, so you have not had a Publix sub, or what they call in the biz, pub sub. They're in my opinion, I know I'm going to hot take here. They're horrible. The bread is made like that morning, and they sit in the little bread basket all day long, and they get dry and crunchy. But everyone in Florida, because pub subs are all boar's head meat, So are you familiar with boar's head meat?
Yes, my wife's a big fan of it.
All right, so they have dry, crusty bread with, 50-cent bread with $200 worth of meat inside.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So you can see my thing here. Now, what Subway was doing was they guaranteed like fresh baked bread all the time. Now, the meats kind of suck themselves, but still, I mean, a bologna sandwich is a bologna sandwich.
And to me, the best thing you can get at Subway is their macadamia nut cookies.
Yes, they are good. After years of declining sales, Subway is now hoping to reintroduce itself to customers by convincing them that to give the sandwich another shot. Next week, this coming week up, Subway across the country. Now, believe it or not, Subway behind McDonald's is one of the largest across the world as far as like retail outlets.
The amount of them or the amount of sales?
Yes,
Okay.
amount of retail outlets, amount of them. Next week, Subway restaurants across the country will unveil an updated design menu to improve its sales across the board. The chain has moved. The chain says the move. Yeah,
the chain says the move is the biggest menu change in its history. The revamp includes new recipes for the chain's Italian and multigrain breads, as well as new sandwich toppings. The chain is also tweaking items already on the menu. Subway's bacon, for example, will now be hickory smoked, and its turkey and ham sliced more thinly.
Now, my wife got some the other day, and she's like going, "Oh, I got Subway sandwich," and I was like going, she's like, "Oh, I got a ham." She always gets the ham and cheese. She's vanilla across the board. She's ham and cheese. That's all she gets. And she's like, "Oh, the ham's really, really thin." Well, here we go. Now we know.
Yeah, and I'll go there and I'll get an Italian sub, but you can go to other restaurants and get a much better Italian
Now,
sub.
they're also bringing back items like the rotisserie chicken and roast beef. I don't know if you remember this. They said that they were going to do roast beef anymore. And my favorite sandwich was the roast beef club, which had roast beef on it. And I wanted extra bacon. Now I get the hickory smoked bacon. Subway, you're playing with my heart here.
Yeah, is that real roast beef or is that the roast beef that they tell you it is at Arby's, which is totally different?
Well, it is roast beef because I see it when they pull it off the package. It does have quote unquote marbling in it. Like there is a separation of. You ever seen like a ribeye steak?
Yes.
And if you were to imagine taking a ribeye steak and shaving a paper thin sheet of that ribeye steak off, that's what the roast beef looked like. Now, tuna, on the other hand, they didn't say anything about how they were going to fix the tuna because they did DNA test on the tuna sandwiches, and it had absolutely no tuna fish in it.
But it had plenty of mercury.
It had, I don't know what it had in it.
Yeah, I am just not a big Subway fan.
I love Subway, and they always say eat fresh. Every time I get a sandwich, I'm like going, oh, this sandwich without anything on it, without what I wanted, is like. A foot long is, I think it's like 550 calories. By the time I get done with it, it's 1,300 calories because I get like double mayo, double cheese, extra bacon, lots of jalapenos and all that.
What do you mean? You don't have chili on this? You can't add chili to it?
No, you can't add chili to it. Now, are you familiar with a competition that happens every 4th of July? And it's in, where do they hold this at? It's usually in like New York somewhere, right? The Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest?
I'm not sure where it is. I have seen them a few times, and what I found was interesting is they eat the hot dog and the bun.
They eat the hot dog and the bun. Now, are you familiar with the gentleman by the name of Joey Chestnut?
Yes, he's a big-time winner.
Now, when you say big-time winner, he's also won a bunch of, like, eating hot wings and eating all this stuff. Well, every 4th of July, I think it's in Coney Island. I'll read more in the article, and hopefully it'll reveal itself. Joey Chestnut has won another title. On Sunday, the 37-year-old competitive eater won the men's Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest for the 14th time. So let me explain that to you. Let me break that down to you. So this is the 14th time. They have it every year. He is 37 years old. Dan, do the math for me.
Well, if he eats 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes...
No. I'm talking about his age and how many times he's won it.
Well, he's won almost a third of his life.
So he's 37 and won it 14 times. So he was 23 when he started?
Yeah, it had to be, but I'm saying if he can eat 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes... and he's done that 14 times, that's like 1,000 hot dogs. That's got to be great for your whole metabolism.
Just once a year, though. But there's got to be training, right? There's got to be training involved. You know, how do you start? Do you start with the little mini Vienna sausage first before you start working up to the Nathan's hot dogs? I hate Nathan's hot dogs. I hate them. I hate them. They're gross.
They have a deal. Buy 2 Nathan's hot dogs, get 3 free at Harris Teeter.
Do they? Oh, the packs?
Yeah.
See, that's how bad they are. They're like skinny little. See my pencil right here?
Yes.
That's about how big the hot dogs are once you cook them. The diameter on them. Anyway, so he said it just felt good, Chestnut says. And he's from Westfield, Indiana. After winning this on Sunday, even if I was uncomfortable, having everybody cheer me on and push me on made me feel great. Fans came close not to seeing Chestnut make history. ESPN's feed broadcast on the Coney Island, see, I knew it would be in Coney Island, began cutting out 5 minutes into the mark. So ESPN came back on the feed moments later. I guess it was coming in and out. They were doing it online, but technical difficulties interrupted the broadcast in the final seconds. At one point, the screen turned blue. Oh my God, ESPN said the issue was a result of a problem with our uplink service provided by that vendor on the site that day. So here's a little video. Let's see. Joey Chestnut with his new world record, 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes, breaking his old record. And if you want to see this video, go to profitradio.com. For every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and you can see this video. So here he is.
And he's really not a big guy. I'd say
He's
maybe
not a big guy.
210 pounds, maybe.
Something.
Look on his works, ye mighty and despair, for he has surpassed the kings of Egypt with 76 Nathan's hot dogs and buns.
And they're cheering him on. Only in America, right?
World record.
And the guy next to second place got 50.
Ranked eater in the world, Joey Chestnut.
There you go.
And picture this: there's somebody that's has no food in their refrigerator. They're all starving, and they're saying, "When am I going to get some food? When's someone going to go to the supermarket?" And they're watching some guy eat 76 hot dogs.
All right, well, that's horrible in itself. Well, when we come back, we're not done with food yet. You know, the chicken shortage that's been going on out there, well, guess what? It's going to get a little bit shorter, and they're getting ready to substitute something for something else. A lot of people, myself, Dan might like it. Myself, I'm not going to get into it. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Profit Radio. I'll be right back.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'll be right behind you.
Please stand by. Oh.
Oh, you know what? I have this fucking light on, too. Dan, you got me all sideways up here.
I don't know what I've done today. Not the chunks. It has to be the solid.
Right.
Yeah. I have to go in on my phone and look at it and make sure you got to take a picture and make sure I get exactly the right tune. They had to close down some companies that made thermometers because they got too inefficient in the mercury. That was like, I don't know if you saw that. Are we sticking on the food theme?
Oh. So I got Joey Chestnut. So we're 30 minutes into the show. So technically we're halfway through the show. So we'll do I want to talk about bad calls with the FCC, and then we'll talk about we'll tie it into the bad chicken that's being recalled, and then the other dark meat that's being shown. So that'll take us another. Then when we come back, we'll do up to speed with technology with you. Then we'll come back and do Shark Attack, Disney. We got a lot. We'll stretch out everything else. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let those catch up.
Oh, we're going to get high-speed internet, 1 gig fiber coming into our neighborhood.
Nice. Wish they could figure our internet yesterday turned off and then came back on, but like I had to reset all the routers and reset everything. It's a mess. I think they're messing around with doing something.
Well, yeah, they could be adding something on,
I don't know.
splicing.
All right, ready?
Ready to go.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social networks, and you can see all the... Oh, there you go, just like that. All the stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. And while you're there, you can pick up some free stuff, get some magnets and stickers. And over to my... Dan, you got a magnet and a sticker on your truck there?
Yes, I have 2 of them on my bumper.
Over my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan. He's a permanent staple of the show for now until he gets tired of us or we get tired of him, one of the two.
Yes, hopefully it will last a long time.
Yeah, it'll last a while. I see this being a great relationship that we have here. Now, a relationship that we have here, now, myself, I've been doing Deacon Live now. I looked it up the other day, 10 years, Dan. 10 years I've been doing Deacon Live.
Yes, that's amazing.
It is amazing. And you also do a show. It's a darker conversation called Is This Going Somewhere? And that's available on iHeartRadio as well.
And it's been about 4 years now.
Yep, about 4 years on iHeartRadio. And that's Is This Going Somewhere? Now, there is a podcast that I do, a small podcast that's called Bad Calls. And what it is, you ever get those telemarketer calls that call you and, hey, have you thought about your insurance? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Well, my job is to see how long I can keep them on the phone. And my phone actually has a voice recorder on it. Now, you say, well, that's illegal. Well, tough shit.
In North Carolina, as long as one party knows it's being recorded, it's legal.
Okay, well, then there you go. I know that I'm recording it. So here's what's happening. As soon as see how everything's... We do this. Give it a minute. Everything's got to catch up.
Someone somewhere is watching YouTube and it's slowing everything down.
What I'll do is I'll stop the streaming. Let's see if that catches it up. Yep, there you go. So the streaming was happening. All right. So for those of you who are tired of those phone calls reminding you that you need to upgrade your insurance or want a lower interest on your credit cards, new FCC regulations go into effect to to cut down on spoof caller ID on robocalls. Consider this. The Federal
Communication Commission's
anti-spoofing law, I'm waiting for all these ads to go through, law has gone into effect starting July 1st. So have you seen your calls gone down?
I have to say the last couple of days I have seen them.
Have you really?
Down.
It is standard that ensures... it is a standard that ensures calls that come in are actually from the number that they show up on your screen. If the phone number is a spoof, then the phone carriers can then block them. Right now, the rules are affecting large carriers, but small companies will also be required to comply. The FCC says the larger carriers already implemented the standards as of June 30th. The commission now considers shortening the time small carriers have to comply with this regulation. We're not going to stop it until we get all the robocallers, spoofers, and scammers off of everyone's phone call. Jessica, how do you pronounce that word right there?
Jessica Rosenworcel.
All right. Which I think that's probably a robocaller itself. In 2020, 4 billion robocalls a month have gone out. Now think about it. You get 4 billion phone calls just in the United States. Even if it's a 0.01% that they actually fall for it, how many people, math guy?
Yeah, the people. Someone's getting very, very rich. I get 2 or 3 robocalls a day. But speaking of scams, I got a call from one of my customers. His wife was using the computer. A big screen popped up, said security warning, call this number, it's beeping. She got scared, called the number, and the guy says, we can take care of you. It's a bank fraud. They've hacked into your computer. What we need to do is log into your account. She logged into their account on Wells Fargo. And then the guy says, I'm going to have to get into your computer. I can fix this for you. And meanwhile, she's on the Wells Fargo page, logged in. He can get in the computer. He's running screens.
And capturing all her information.
Yeah, capturing their login, their password. Plus, he could transfer money. They were fortunate. They went down to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo made sure there was nothing going on. They put a new username and password on it. They caught it in time. But she would have given them money. She said, we can fix this for you. She goes, I'll give you my credit card. And she said, no, a cashier's check, which is very strange.
How old is this person that you...
She was, I'd say, about 70, 72.
So they're relying on preying on older people.
Yes, they are doing that.
So if you're still getting robocalls, the FCC has some suggestions on how to make sure that you're not a victim of scam. 1, do not answer the phone call from any unknown numbers. Well, what if it's my daughter and she's trapped in the hospital and she's calling me saying that she's on life support?
Well, I have my IT system and I have people that call me a lot, and I'd say half of them are people that really want to get a hold of me. So
hang up on the call hang up and call on your own to say, from the company or the organization. Hang up if you're asked to either hit a number or say yes to stop being called, because when you hit a number or say yes, 2 things will happen. They can use that to unauthorized or to charge you for unauthorized charges on your whatever account. Yes, I say yes, and they'll record your voice and send that back to you. And then hitting the number. See, I didn't know this. Hitting the number that says press 2 if you don't want to be called back again. Pressing that number indicates that phone is a valid phone call, and it just spider webs off to 10 more phone calls after that.
Yes, you'll be getting more of them, and don't use gift cards. And I'm on the do not call registry, and I report them all the time.
Well, I signed up for it too, but when I signed up for it, I felt like I was giving them permission to give my information out. I don't know. I signed up. It's just in my mind. I thought that. So something that's going wrong outside of your phone calls is the chicken shortages. Now, Dan, I told you my story about how my chicken it came to me raw. What is this?
Your chicken wings are raw.
My chicken wings are raw. Why am I getting this? Here we go. But right now, Tyson, for those of you who don't know, DeaconLive broadcasts just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And in Marshville, we have chicken houses upon
chicken houses.
And chicken houses and on chicken houses. And some of them are Purdue, some are Pilgrims, some of them are Tyson chicken houses. And we see chicken trucks go up and down the road all day long. And it's got all the, you feel sorry for them. They're all in these little crab. You know what a crab pot is, right? You ever seen Deadliest Catch, where they pull all the crabs out of those big metal things? That's what the chickens are in, and these trucks are full of them going down the road, and the feathers are flying everywhere.
Yeah, I do see that a lot. We're out in the country, we see that. There's a chicken farm by us, and every once in a while the wind's blowing the right way.
So right now, there's a food recall because of, hold on, let me see. Walmart, Target, Kroger, Publix are among the stores that have sold Tyson chicken products, are recalling it because of listeria. There's a risk of that. Now, what's listeria, Dan? Do you know?
It's like hysteria, only different.
Walmart sold Tyson food chicken products are part of the recall possible because of the listeria risk. Publix also posted, and what it is it's the frozen stuff. It's not the stuff in packages that you buy, like the fresh stuff. It's all the frozen stuff. Walmart, Target, Kroger, Publix, and H-E-B. What's H-E-B? What's H-E-B? I don't know.
No.
Wedgman's are among the retailers sold Tyson Foods that recalled chicken products. The retailers each posted recall notices on their websites after Tyson Foods announced Saturday that there is a voluntary recall. Approximately 8.5 million pounds of frozen cooked products are possible for listeria containment. Now, you thought your chicken shortage was going to be bad. Now you got 8.5 million pounds of frozen stuff. Tyson recalls
includes Tyson branded fully cooked and frozen products and private labels products for restaurants, including Jet's Pizza, Casey's General Store, Marco's Pizza, and Little Caesars.
So their products are coming back from these outlets. And so a list of full retailers that sold the affected products will not be available till this coming Monday. Sorry. It will be posted on the United States Department of Agriculture and Food Safety and Inspection Service Recall website, which is a mouthful. They should just call it the USDAFSIS website.
And you've been doing this for 10 years?
10 years. Can you believe that? 10 years. So now what do you do when you have a chicken shortage and your whole entire brand is part of being, you sell chicken like KFC, of course. But what about like the wing houses, the wing shacks, all these other places that just specialize in chicken?
We're going to have to do a substitute. Maybe go to dark meat.
Well, there you go. That's the answer. Fast food brands could now start turning to dark meat because they're trying to save a buck and also keep the customers happy with food out there. A new development proves that anything breasts can do, thighs can do better.
Okay. I've always been buying chicken breasts for years, and just the last year we started buying chicken thighs. I cook them. They're juicier, tastier. I like it. I think there's more where they are in the chicken. You're going to get more moisture. It's going to be a lower part of the chicken, so it's going to be something that's already it's been marinating with and a lot more water than the
many years ago when I lived in Florida. I worked with another a radio celebrity in the Central Florida area, and I'm like going, "Hey man, do you have any family or anything?" No, He's like out on his luck. I'm like going, well, we're having Thanksgiving. Would you like to come over and have some Thanksgiving turkey with us? I said, normally we do, just the white meat breast. He's like, oh, I love the dark meat. That's the way you talk. I like the dark meat. I'm like, all right, we'll get a dark meat for you. He's like, yeah, I'll eat all the dark meat you want to give me. And sure enough, he would eat and it was like eating like octopus or something. It was just like, it was so slimy and he would just eat it and I'm going, oh, that's all you.
I love it. We'll get a rotisserie chicken and Kathy will eat the white meat and I'll eat the legs with the dark meat, and it's so much tastier and it's not all dried out.
Well, you're one of few. Oh baby, we love dark meat around here. We go batty for fatty juices on the chicken thigh any day. This is what they're saying here in the article. Sure, white meat has its place, but skipping out on dark meat is like buying a movie ticket and leaving after the trailers.
I've done that in a few movies.
Now, as the brands continue to deplete their resources and fighting for chicken sandwich wars, a demand for white meat is through the roof. Now that we have this big recall, which the meat is more expensive. Now, chains could soon turn to the delicious solution, utilizing more dark meat to offset the costs. There are a few factors squeezing out the chicken market right now. First, chicken wing consumption is up 17% since last year, leading into the shortage of heard round the world of chicken wings. I told you the chicken wing story already. United States chicken supply also supplies have suffered after the extreme winter in Texas affecting countless flocks. They had the big freeze down there. They lost a lot of flocks, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and then you have the labor shortage, and that's affecting the chicken farmers, which means fewer workers and slower production.
This is correct. So that all spells trouble for the fast food chains, which continuously cranks out white meat chicken sandwiches faster than you can say squawk. Now, I know when chicken nuggets were starting to get really, really popular, they dropped the price of chicken McNuggets at a McDonald's to like $1.50 for 10. And I remember sitting at the club, and this is just a weird situation I was in. It's one of those like, whoa. The waitresses would buy the 10-piece chicken McNuggets and would take the chicken McNugget and split it in half and look at it and go, dark meat, throw it away. Split it open, dark meat, throw it away. Split it open, oh, here's a white meat one. Because they would mix the meat to make the chicken McNuggets. Little did they know that it was a pink slurry, but then McDonald's says we have all white meat chicken nuggets or whatever they were saying at the time.
Yeah, and my wife will get chicken nuggets, and if you try to eat one without any of the sauce on it, it doesn't taste good at all. You all it is a way of you. Well, I don't want to drink this sauce right out of the container, so I'll dip it in chicken, but it has no taste.
Well, and so now what they're doing is, so you're going to see a lot more dark meat. Maybe dark meat's going to make a comeback. Now, granted, Dan, I'm with you. I've had skinless, boneless thighs. I've had skin on, bone in thighs, and I've done them both ways, on the grill, in a pan, in a dish. I always put like the what's the baby Sweet Baby Ray's hot sauce or wing sauce on it, and bake the whole entire thing in there. Awesome, I love it. So I'm coming around to the dark meat, but as far as Thanksgiving turkey, I'm still going with the breast meat.
Yeah, I have. Well, we get the whole turkey, and that's what we do because we like to have leftovers for a month. And I made chicken thighs the other night. Cook them on a cookie sheet at 475 degrees. Salt and pepper. It's all I put on it. No Sweet Baby Ray's, no barbecue sauce, and they were delicious.
Speaking of turkey, when we come back, we have a new segment called Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan, and we'll dive into that here when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I find when I read it, I slow down just a little bit, and it seems to I can do fine. I think if I had the speed read it, it would be, I know there's one part I think I did a good where I came in and just added something.
That's perfect. And if you want to pick that up every time, I'll stop because I didn't realize what you were doing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what you were doing, and then I looked at the next sentence and I'm going, oh, he said it like it was his thought. I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And that's just knowing that we don't step on each other's toe, talk at the same time. But that's.
And me, I'm a high energy, so I have to read as fast and trying to get the information out.
Yeah, when I find if I just slow down just a little bit. No, if I slow down a little bit when I'm reading it, I think it comes like to a natural flow, like you're not reading it off the screen. So I think that part, I was proud of that part.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to send everyone to the... why am I off? Oh, I didn't start the... That's why I'm off here. Oh, I'm back on there.
Now, what did you have to do when you had that radio?
That's the notification that I get all the time.
Yeah, and when you did that, what did you have to do?
I hit it says report, stop, or restart the program. So I just restart the program, and then it just starts right back up. And I don't know why it does that. See right here?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Title update failed. So that's what happened.
Okay. Oh.
Service connection restarted.
Go back, see what that is. Because I can look the errors up.
Well, we're not going to do it now.
No, but I just wanted to.
But this is where it happened, right here. Yeah, W40.
Okay, I can just try to. I got to remember next time I come over to bring a can. Well,
and we're getting to the point where I'm probably just better off just buying the program and being done with it. Well, I mean, as much as we use it now.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that I may look at that, and that may be something that they do. Maybe the new version takes care of that. Or
this is what's telling us what's coming up next. See, 4, 3, 2, and then it'll play right there. Boop.
Yeah. When I worked at the computer store, we had there was a radio station. We used to go there. And they had a different interface, but we had to go there, and the guy would run the radio station. He'd get on the radio station, do everything he needs to do, and then take off and leave. And he'd have enough people, listeners, would know his number. And if there was a problem with the radio station, they'd call up and say, "Hey, Jeff, the radio's down." And then he'd go down. But we'd go down there and do a couple of things, but it had a different interface. But he pretty much was running an on-the-air, over the waves radio station, and he'd set up, do everything he needed to do, and leave. So he wasn't there.
Your cartridges, cart cards.
Yeah.
It was a list, and you would put in this one and and you plug them in, and they were like small little 8-track looking things.
Oh no, this was like your software. Oh. It was regular software.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying that there used to be a cart DAT.
Drinking on the job. What was it? Uh-oh. Is that your phone or is that... Ring.
Oh, it's a...
Oh, your buddy. He knew. He's saying, "Why are you guys talking crap about me on your show?"
me. Why they're going to put me on the air?
I had one problem. I said, "I don't know why you're calling me. I don't even have a phone." Yeah.
I like the Spanish ones because it's a Florida number, so I'll get like, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" I'm like going, "Hi, can I fuck you, you little Spanish pussy?" Click.
Yeah. One time I got mad and I told someone, "Can you just eat the peanuts out of my shit?" And fuck you, you assholes.
All right, I want to talk about your picture real quick, and then just kind of so everyone sees who you are and what you are, and then we'll go right into up to speed. And I'm going to do this to give me a couple seconds to bring the...
Do you know how many pictures of me are out on the internet?
7.
If you look on Facebook, picture of me is when I'm like
Yeah, I
6
know.
months old. I try very hard to keep myself off the internet like that.
Well, you're not going to be on the internet. You're going to be on the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Totally different. Internet only goes to certain people. The podcast goes all over the world.
Yeah.
So it'll be a smaller audience.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Coming back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course, everyone wants to be heard. You want to be part of the show? You can be part of the show, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the little Be Heard blue bar, blue bar. The little blue bar at the very bottom right-hand side of the page, it says Be Heard. Click on that. It opens up our microphone. You can be part of the show. Tell us how you're doing. Tell us any questions you got, and you can talk to IT Dan. And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great this afternoon.
Now, can you explain this picture to me? Now, for every podcast we do, we also have a matching video. And while you're over there on the Prophet Radio section, you can see this video as well. This is Dan. How old are you here, Dan? You look like a strapping young man.
I had to be about 24, 25 years old.
Now, what year was this? Well, I don't want to give your age, so.
1978. That's
Okay.
fine.
Now, how many stereo equipments do you have? You have a turntable here.
I have a turntable, have the receiver in the middle.
What's this? You looking for submarines with this guy up here? What's that?
Those are special headphones, binaural headphones that record.
No, this little thing up on top here.
That goes to binaural headphones.
What are binaural headphones?
Binaural headphones, instead of a regular microphone, it's a set of headphones that you put on your head, and it simulates your air cavity. And then it has headphones inside that air cavity. So if you record with these headphones, and if you played it back, if someone snapped their fingers behind your head or on the left side or right side,
right, you
would hear it in the headphones exactly like you were there if you closed your eyes. They are so realistic. It's like if you wanted your ears to record something instead of a regular microphone.
Is this a precursor to surround sound?
No, they were just something that I found back then in the 70s, and I would if you listen to a concert with them and then put the headphones on and heard it again, it would sound exactly spatially and front and rear.
So it looks like you're heavily into this Jackson Browne album. And what's this little red RCA thing hanging off the?
I think that's just the RCA cord plug on there. So.
Is that the plug on the headphones, or is that off behind you? I can't tell. You're kind of like overlapping there.
It was 1978. I don't recall.
Well, you look good. Dan, you haven't changed a bit. Let's put it that way. You haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, and I was just talking to my friend Ron, and he was talking about JVC receivers, and I described the receiver that I had with the equalizer bar in it.
Is this it right here?
In the volume control, yes. And he goes, he had the same receiver back then.
Really? Well, there you go. And you guys grew up in the same time era.
Yeah, he's about 6 years younger than me.
Is he really? Yeah. Oh my God! Oh, there you go.
And a few pounds heavier.
All right. On that note, the moment you've been waiting for, it's time to have Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Okay, I know you guys all hear about hackers and you read about hacking into banks, but there's also hackers in video games. And the Call of Duty Warzone, which was released about a year ago, they have issues with hackers now, and one particular cheat is becoming more popular. It's known as silent aim.
You know what? I play Call of Duty, and I cannot stand hackers on there. Now, the brand new Call of Duty is okay, but in the Warzone, now, for those of you who don't know, Warzone is almost like the Call of Duty's answer to Fortnite. Do you know what Fortnite is?
I'm familiar with it.
All right, so it's a wide open. There's 100 people in this whole entire map, and you try to get down to one person. So Warzone is the Call of Duty's version of Fortnite. And if you have these, what are you saying? It's
Yeah, they have this thing called a silent aim.
That's what it
and
is.
what that will do is, if say a person's playing on playing with the Deacon, he can come up to the Deacon, and you should have to aim directly at him and shoot him to eliminate him from the game. With the silent aim, you can just shoot at the ground, anywhere close, anywhere. It will shoot and kill him, and it will eliminate him. And they're trying to do things. Their software company is keeping after them, and they're eliminating the people if they catch them doing it. But they'll sign up with new accounts. But it's just one of the problems they're having with the game. So hackers are everywhere, not just trying to steal your money.
Now, with the Call of Duty, you are able to report people. Like, if you click on their tag, their logo, whatever their name is, like mine is up there, is DeaconLive and whatever, and you right-click on it, or with your controller, I think you X or something on it, it'll say add as a friend, ignore as a friend, or report. And you can report these people, and of course they get new IDs and all the stuff that the hackers get around this stuff, and it just makes the game. It makes it for poor play.
Yeah, you don't have a level playing field.
Correct.
I don't know if you people have an iPhone, but there's also Google is a big company everyone's heard of, and some of these techs, the people that program it, create these things called Easter eggs, and these are just hidden games that they put inside your phone. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad and you go to the Google app, you can click on the tabs in the bottom bar. If you have any tabs open, you just clear them all by hitting the trash icon, and you wait for some colorful shapes to show up from the bottom of the screen. Swipe up on them, and you can start, and you can play a pinball game. It's just a cute little thing that they stuck inside the phone that a lot of people will never notice or never know about it.
So one of the things that I think Google Maps did for, I think, April Fool's one year is they turned the Google Street Map into an actual virtual Pac-Man game. So like if you were in your neighborhood, if you saw a screenshot of your neighborhood on Google Maps, you can click on play Pac-Man, and you can up, down, left, right on your keyboard, and you can do Pac-Man up and down your street, and it would eat the dots, and the ghosts are all around it. So it's these little hacks, these little Easter eggs that you can see.
And these guys live for this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Google Maps, my friend saw one of the Bing Maps cars driving around his neighborhood, ran out to the street, didn't have time to do what he wanted to do, but he did go out there and give both middle fingers up in the air and if you go look at his address, you can find that. He's since passed away, but he's going to be in infamy for a while. If you go to Bing Maps, you can go and see the end of his driveway and see Jay.
I'm gonna see something here. Hold on. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourself.
Oh, okay. You want me to continue?
Yeah, just keep filling in.
Okay. And last week we were talking about drones that they were using for hurricanes. And I just found out if you fly a drone such as the DJI Air 2S or the Mini 2 in the United States, or if your drone weighs more than 0.55 pounds, a little more than half a pound, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration,
those guys.
Yep, they announced on June 22nd it's approved 16 organizations to provide a test you can do online, and it's about a 30-minute test. Some people can do it quicker. And you need to pass that test if you're going to be taking a drone and flying it above. That's something that starts June 22nd. And also found out that if you're uploading drone footage to outlets such as YouTube for money, it means you're no longer flying recreationally. So these are a few little tidbits there.
So I know that and here we go right here. You ready for this?
Yes.
So this is, I'm here somewhere. Hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. This is one of the houses that I have in Florida. There's my truck, my landscape equipment. And if you look right here, I don't know, let me back up a little bit more. We have a nephew that lives in New York, in Ronkonkoma, Center Reach area. And he had a small drone, and it weighed a certain amount. And any drone that you have, I know that any drone that has a certain amount of weight, you have to register that. And did they really take it out? They shouldn't have taken it out. I think they did. And we had a party over there, and just we were at the pool, and they're in the flight pattern, and he's like, "Hey, check out my new." Yeah, they took it out. That was me walking down the street. And it went up. It went up, I think, maybe 100 feet, 150 feet. And all of a sudden, he got an alert because it was attached to his phone or something. And it went, zzz, it shut it down. So there's like some kind of radio wave across at a certain level that when drones go up, if it's not registered, it sent it back down to the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, drones are, if the things they can do using for war, someone was eliminated by a drone. A drone from the United States went and assassinated someone. So it is crazy what technology will do.
Now, do you have a drone, Dan?
No, probably something I'd like to get into one of these days.
Well, you know what? I need to get you. I need you to get you my father-in-law's because he's not, of course, unfortunately, he passed away, and so I've got a drone up there. It's got 6 propellers on it. I don't know if you want to take it and mess with it and play with it at home and see if you can get it. I can't get mine. I've got one, a real nice one. My wife got me. It's got lights and everything on it, and every time I do it, it goes zzz, and then flips over. Well,
they have this thing. I don't know if you're familiar with, called a manual. You can't read it before you operate it.
I just want to watch the YouTube video. That's all I want to watch.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dan. Anything else before?
Yeah, this weekend I was reading about this place. It's 62 miles away from Marshville. I don't know if you've ever been there.
What's that?
Let me go back and look at it.
Take your time. It's a live show.
I know. Okay. It's called the Carmen Line. I don't know if you're familiar with it. 62 miles away from your house.
And what's this have to do with technology?
It is the space. It is where the air stops and the space begins.
Explain that to me.
So at a certain altitude, flying in a plane, your aerodynamic lift carries 98% of the weight of the plane, and only 2% is carried by centrifugal force. After you get 62 miles away, all the physics reverse on that, and 90% and 2% of the weight is carried by aerodynamic lift, and 80
am I walking on this thing? Thing? What? I don't understand what this is.
When you get 62 miles up north of your house, up in the sky.
Oh, 62 miles straight up.
Straight up.
Now, when you say north, I'm thinking like Santa Claus. I'm going around the globe. So you're talking about like atmospherically, I'm going 62 miles straight up.
Yeah, that's where the air ends and space begins, and all the physics change.
62 miles?
62 miles.
Dan, we could build a rocket and do that.
Yes, yeah, we should be able to do that. Everyone else is building rockets.
Bezos and all those other guys.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and I don't know if it's. Maybe going to the moon is one thing, but I don't know if I'd want to just go to space.
All right, there you go. There you go, guys. That's up to speed with technology with IT Dan. Stick around. We got more for you. Lots of show to get to. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
You can cut out those blank spaces there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see where we're at. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. Break number 5.
I can't believe you make me punch out and punch in all these breaks. It's just...
Well, the good news is I don't have a whole lot of editing because I think you are filling in very nicely. It's me stumbling over stuff that I'm going to have to...
Well, I was stumbling over stuff in that, which I use. Okay, we got car fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about entertainment, I'll tell you about the 2 shows I've seen lately.
All right, I want to talk about the 14-year-old girl that was sentenced to death, and then the shark attack, and we'll take a break and then come back, and that'll be a segment. All right, 14-year-old girl and the shark attacks.
That will take 10 minutes.
I want to trim it down to, anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
Dan, I can talk all day. I know you can. It's funny, when I was DJing, I would be on the microphone for, if I worked a double, 14 hours. If I worked a single, it was 7 hours. And I would do it like 3 or 4 days in a row straight. Just 7 hours, just nonstop talking and stuff. And when I got off work, headphones on, rode my bicycle. And I got to a point where, what am I looking up here? I got to 14-year-old car time. It got to a point where we had 2 DJs quit, so I had to work like 3 or 4 doubles, like from noon to 2 o'clock in the morning for 4 days straight.
So you're playing the music, but you're talking over the music the whole
so
time?
It's a strip club, Dan.
Yeah.
And every 3 minutes, because the girls have to make money, so you have to go. The girls have to. They're up on stage. For 3.5 minutes, and then 3.5 minutes, and you'd have to say, "All right, guys, and here comes song number 2. Here she comes topless. Guys, get up and show some love. All that stuff." And why am I not getting internet? So, I had polyps. I couldn't talk. I mean, I literally could not talk. I would have to do shots of whiskey to numb my throat, so I could talk. Because if I didn't, I sound like this. All right, and then the other one is another shark.
Car fight. Oh, 2 shark ones?
Yeah, 2 sharks. This is the one where jumped out of the water.
There's a real funny thing that, what was the guy's names? The Bash Brothers, and they do this thing called Shark Week, and that's the 1 week where the girl has her period, so she can't go in the water because sharks will get her. And that alone makes it priceless. But it was a very, very funny stand-up comedian, and there's two brothers. It's like a stand-up comedian. It's like if we were doing this is a stand-up act. And
what's their name?
Each person's playing after each other.
What's the name of them?
The Bash Brothers.
Bash like that?
Bash Brothers. Shark Week. No, that's.
All right, here we go. Oh, Daily Mail's going to be a fucking shit. All right, here we go. Welcome back to DeaconLive. We going? Why isn't it smooth? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Stop. Delete. Yes. Done. I was so zoomed in, it didn't move. Ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to DeaconLive. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And the way you see that video is go to Prophet Radio, PROPH. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Don't forget, for every podcast that we do, we have a matching video as well. And the way you see that video is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on that, and you can see what's going on here. We also have a shared on section. It's kind of like a cliff notes for all the shows or all the stories that we talk about here on the podcast. And the way you see that is go to Prophet Radio and click on DeaconLive. Over to my far right-hand side, we have IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just getting my seatbelt ready for this segment.
Get your seatbelt on. Now, Dan, a while back, we talked about this. Well, hold on. Let me backtrack a little bit. I always have to backtrack to set up the story. So, Uber, are you familiar with Uber, right?
Yes, we've taken Uber before.
You've taken Uber. It's very successful? You had a good time with it?
We were in San Francisco. We left the restaurant. We called Uber, and the person was there in 1 minute. We had nice cars we rode in, very professional drivers.
Good.
And And it was a decent price.
Well, good. Have you ever done like Uber Eats? I know out here on the French, we broadcast just out, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We are probably, 14, 15 miles from our local town here. And I don't think Uber Eats.
Yeah, I don't know if they come in our area. We do see some places we have.
Sorry, something's firing before I got into it. So Uber Eats, you haven't had Uber Eats?
No, I've never done that. I've always picked up my own food.
So I know that during the pandemic and everything, that Uber Eats was actually being more beneficial because no one's leaving their houses. So everyone went from being an Uber driver down to an Uber Eats, or down or up, or however you want to take that scenario. Now, last year, two girls on March 23rd actually attacked an Uber Eats driver and tried to steal his car. This was big news back in the day, a couple months ago, a few months ago, almost coming up on not a full year, but it happened a while ago. Now, what happened was they robbed the guy, this older gentleman, and tried to steal his car. In the process of them stealing the car, two girls, 13 and 14 years old, were trying to steal it from Mohammed Anwar. Anwar is his name?
Mohammed Anwar.
Yeah. And he was 66 years old. And they got in the car. They said, oh, he's taking my phone. He's taking my phone. And he's like going, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he stuck his head in the driver's side window. And they took off, sped, wrecked, threw his body out. He slammed up against a building, ended up dying. All right. So now you know the scenario of what's happening. Now, right now, today, the second girl who pleaded, hold on, let's see right here. I don't want to talk about Chris Jericho. The second girl who pleaded guilty in the connection of this brutal death of an Uber Eats driver in Washington, D.C. during a botched carjacking was sentenced on Tuesday to a juvenile detention center. The girl, now 14, released from custody, when she turns 21.
Yeah, she was 13 when she and another teen girl tried to carjack it. They used a taser on him,
right, and
they assaulted him.
So the girls allegedly hit him with a taser in the Navy Yard metro station during the incident. Video footage of the encounter shows that he was clinging on the video and so on and so forth. So now he was a migrant worker. The girl was sentenced Tuesday, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder last month. And the other girl, who was 15 at the time of the crime, received the same sentence in June. Now, what's happening now is they are, let's see.
She has a prior record also.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. She is now being sentenced to death.
And that to me is a little extreme. I mean, what they did was wrong in a felony, but people will rob banks and people die and don't get that sentence.
Well, she's 14. She's being sentenced to a juvenile detention center until she turns 21. But then when she turns 21, they're going to start the death proceeding as far as, how they're going to try her as an adult when she turns 21 after serving all her time through the juvenile detention center facilities.
Yeah, and I think 13, 14, what they did was wrong. But there's a lot of people that are 18, 19, and 20 that commit just as serious crimes and aren't sentenced to death.
I agree, but I mean, what do you do?
It's not fair.
But I mean, there's a difference between being 13 years old and stealing a candy bar out of a store, and then being 19 years old and stealing a candy bar out of a store.
No, I'm saying you have a 19-year-old person that will pull out a gun and shoot somebody during a robbery,
right?
And they don't get a death sentence. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, yes and no, but there must be more details in the story. I mean, if you ever watched the video, I mean, she purposely, this was all done maliciously, and she was full cognizance as far as what was going on.
Yeah, and having it on video makes a world of difference to juries, everybody else.
That's the thing that we live in today. Yeah. Speaking of being on videos, Dan, I don't go in the water at all. I try not to go into the water. I know it's the holiday weekend. It's the 4th of July weekend. I told you my story about hating sharks. I saw the movie at Jaws at 2 years old.
But that's a bathtub is different. You can use a bathtub once in a while.
And I'm rare to take, even in the swimming pool, I won't go in the deep end. I will swim in the shallow end. If I have to go in the deep end, it's only for a split second, but I will stay in the shallow end. Now, this couple right here was, you know where the Red Sea is?
Yes.
A Jordanian man was parasailing in the Red Sea when he was attacked by a shark. The man had several severed tendons in his foot, and
A badly torn muscle.
it was
Wow.
badly torn muscle. So what happened was the shark bit off a section of the man's foot after leaping up from the sea, and this was all caught on tape. Now, the way you see this is go to ProfitRadio.com, click on Deacon Live, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. Now, Dan, this is a camera, like a cell phone camera footage, so you're going to have to watch real closely. I'm going to see if I can blow this up as much as possible. Wait, make sure that we're all
We know
on the
your
same...
partner loves bags. Fortunately, eye bags aren't permanent.
So here they are. Now there's two of them, and they're behind the boat. This right here, see?
So you're going to get internet here someday?
Someday I'll get internet. Right there. Right there, see him?
Yeah.
I'll play it. So they're pulling them behind the boat, and their feet are just barely dangling in the water, getting ready to, the boat will throttle and then pull them up in the air. So the boat, sees them and throttles and watch. They go up in the air, and he's like, no, my foot's down there. He's bleeding. So there you go. I mean, you wouldn't think of something. What are the chances? What are the chances of that happening?
Yeah, no, not very good.
Not very good.
No.
Now, I spoke last week about the shark bite capital of the world, which is...
La Ponce, Florida.
Well, Ponce Inlet, Florida. An 8-year-old boy this past weekend, and I tell you, this is why I don't go in the water. This is why I don't go in the ocean. An 8-year-old boy was hospitalized after the 4th of July shark bite on Florida beaches. A boy in Miami visiting Ponce Inlet was reportedly bitten by a 2 or 3 foot shark on the 4th of July. Now, for those of you that don't know about Ponce Inlet, it's deep. I told you it's a very deep channel. You don't go swimming in it. There's an island, what they call disappearing island, and what it does is when the tide goes out, it's a big, huge sandbar that everyone sits on. And then when the tide comes in, then everyone kind of stands on the sandbar. You're in 1.5 feet of water. And sure enough, this little 2-3 foot shark came in there chasing bait fish. You want to read this for me, Dan?
Yeah. An 8-year-old boy is currently in stable condition after suffering a shark bite on a Florida beach on the 4th of July. The boy from Miami was reportedly visiting the Ponce Inlet beaches in Volusia County when he was bitten by a 2 to 3 foot shark, according to WKMG. The unidentified minor was treated by the Volusia County safety lifeguards at the scene before being taken to Halifax Health Medical Center by Ponce Leon. He goes, the boy was bitten in the right leg about 4 p.m. And
that's right when that's the changing of the tide right there.
And they reports an average of 8 to 10 shark bites a year, usually always non-life-threatening. However, the University of Florida's International Shark Attack File, which I usually read every day, designated
you got
Volusia
a subscription
County,
to that?
Yes, I check it before I check any other news, and it says it designated Volusia County as the shark bite capital of the world. But there's been no deaths.
All right.
That's good.
So
news.
yeah, luckily there have been no. What's this right here?
Luckily, there have been no fatal shark attacks reported in Florida, nor the rest of the country so far in 2021.
Well, there you go, Dan. So if I took you down to Florida and we wanted to go hang out and I said, let's go to Ponce Inlet, what would you say?
I'd say, sure, Travis, let's go for it. Yeah.
No way, Jose. All right, when we come back, we'll do an entertainment report. Let's do that. Let's do an entertainment report, and then we'll dive into the shenanigans that actually happened on the 4th of July. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Ooh. Yeah, you're starting to get you're getting comfortable and getting further away. You got to either bring the microphone up or bring your chair closer. Right on time.
Yes. What is it?
My package.
Oh.
My freaking package, Dan. Yeah, you're getting a little. Not that that's bad or anything.
No,
But
I'm getting complacent. It's been 3 weeks. You know.
well, I mean, it sounds good, but when you look at like, watch this. See, this is you talking.
Okay.
See the difference?
Now you can take that one section and raise it up a little bit, or you just don't.
What one section?
You can cut that and raise the.
It's a pain in the.
volume.
It's a pain
Okay.
in the ass.
Okay.
So I just let it go.
Okay. Didn't think I was kind of inappropriate that you brought it up to me.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. I said it's a little inappropriate that you brought it up to me.
Oh.
When I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to paraphrase them a little bit so it
That's
sounds
fine.
like my normal. And that last part, I just didn't think that really added anything to it. But I think if I had read it earlier, I would have. Hey, we got to do the invisible car, too.
I know.
The car fireworks.
And we'll talk about this.
So which ones we going to now again?
We're gonna do just a small entertainment report, and we'll talk about this, and then we'll lead into the entertainment report. So two topics in this one segment. So we'll talk about this, and you can see all this, and we'll talk about this for a little bit, and then I'll get into the entertainment. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the switch again. Sorry. So many things going on. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? You want to get some free stuff? Well, guess what? I got some brand new free stuff in my hand. And the way you get this is to go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the free swag. Fill out the little form there. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything with your email address or anything like that. All I want to do is send you some free stuff for thanking you for listening to us and all the stuff that you do for us. And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yeah, let me see what's got in that envelope.
Well, see, I've got brand new. This is my proof. This is my proof sticker. So I got brand new stickers here, and you can see us live here on the air. This is they put
Oh, it's upside down. I can't see
It's
it.
not upside down. Hold on. They got so much shit in here. All right, so hold on. I know it's riveting. Always riveting, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, here, there's the proof. So you can look at that.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that does look nice. I like it. It's reflective.
It's the new hologram, the DeaconLive hologram stickers that we have. And we got a bunch of these that just came in. I actually just went outside to grab another beer, and UPS guy showed up. I'm like going, hey, I'll take that.
I got to put one of these on my truck.
I wouldn't put it on your truck. You don't want to decrease the value of your truck. But I'll give you some so you can take home and give them to your friends or whatever. There you go. There's a whole brand new one here. And let's see, where's the camera at? This camera right here?
Yeah.
Put it right
Right there. I can
there.
see it now.
So there you go. Nice hologram looking sticker.
Yeah.
It's vinyl, 100% vinyl. It'll last forever. So I'll give Dan a couple. And if you want to get this sticker as well, just go to Prophet Radio, click on the free swag, and we'll give you some of these free stickers. That's the way it works, right, Dan?
Yeah. That's the way it works.
Now, speaking of the way it works, my wife and I normally, we've been so busy in the last couple weeks, even the last couple months, we haven't had time to sit down and enjoy each other and sit there and watch a movie or a show or anything together. I've been watching King of the Hill. I'm on season 3 on Hulu. Are you familiar with King of the Hill?
I'm familiar with it.
So I told myself I wanted to watch the whole entire because I missed a bunch of episodes, and I'm like on season 13, episode 23, and I've got like one season left, and then Brittany Murphy dies. Spoiler alert, by the way. But one thing we started watching Low Key, and I'm not going to get into that. But one movie that we did watch was a Tomorrow War. Have you seen that one?
No, it's on my list of things to watch.
All right. So let's see. It's with what's the guy's name? Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. And it's a 2-hour-long movie. And for whatever reason, Dan,
Yeah.
I have 2 degrees in film and theater productions. And so I appreciate, and it also drives me insane to watch movies that are done good and done bad, and I can sit there and go all that stuff. My wife goes, don't tell me when there's bad stuff going on until the end of the movie. And at the end of the movie, I'm like going, this is what happened, this is what happened. And then she's like going, yeah, I don't care. I didn't see that. It wasn't part of my thing. I said it was fine. This movie right here, my wife loved it, enjoyed it completely, immensely. It was fun. It was. It had a lot of drama. It had a lot of action, And it's one of those movies where you're like, bang bang shoot 'em up is what my wife would say.
And now we watched a Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up movie that was just awful. It was called The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and it had Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas, Morgan Freeman. All of
Now
them.
this is a continuation of the first one. Now the first one was good.
Yeah, this one was just with all those stars in it that I really like. It was just too lame. It's just the writing in it was bad, and you're watching it and you don't even care whether this person blows up or lives or dies. When you make it so that you don't even care about the actors, they didn't write it with enough care. And I love all those people. I love the premise. And
Did the comedy or the dialogue feel forced?
yeah, some of it felt forced, and it just wasn't. There were some funny moments in it, but there were parts where they tried to be funny or tried to write the whole scene around one little joke or something. And
So it's kind of the same effect that if you've seen the trailer, you've seen all the bits of the movie that.
yeah, and we, 20 minutes before the movie, we just shut it off. We said, I don't even care. If you don't care about the people in it, if they don't make it interesting enough, it's like this show. People, listen to the show because they say, are the Deacon, is Dan, are they going to get psychiatric help or not? The people are invested in it.
Well, being invested in it, Chris Pratt actually left a message on Twitter thanking people to watch this movie now, because that's a big stretch. He's coming off the MCU universe, the Marvel Comics, and he's doing this, kind of bang bang shoot 'em up movie. And so he had some words to say. And the way you see this is go to prophetradio.com, click on
Happy 4th of July to everybody in
Internet.
America and to everyone around the world. I want to say to all of you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have helped to make Tomorrow War the #1 movie in the world. I'm feeling pumped, to say the least, and filled with gratitude. The first 48 hours of global viewing for the Tomorrow War on Prime Videos, it's broken all the records, and it's #1 streaming film in the world. And we really just could not have done that without each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your positive audience reactions. If you haven't had a chance to see the movie, check it out. I am so proud of my baby. She's all grown up and terrorizing the world with hideous aliens. So to everyone out there, 4th of July weekend, stay safe. Celebrate
Or die.
Independence this
Or
weekend,
something like
and
that.
the rest of
Anyway,
us,
so he was part of like an executive producer and stuff. Now the movie's 2 hours long, 2 hours and 2 minutes long. Now, from my experience, if a movie to be qualified as a motion picture has to be longer than 81 minutes. And the example I've always said before was there was a movie by Dana Carvey that was called the Master of Disguise, and this was like in 1987, 88 or something like that. And the movie was only 78 minutes long, but they ran 6 minutes worth of credits to qualify to be a quote unquote motion picture. So when you see a movie, like when you're looking down the thing and seeing how long the movie is, if it's an hour and 30 minutes, that means they did bare minimum to make that movie. Bare minimum to make that movie. So when you see a movie that's like an hour and 47 minutes, hour and 50, these odd times, then you're like going, okay, there's a lot of stuff that hit the cutting floor, and they're trying to get this story told, and it might be a good story, it might be a bad story. When this movie's 2 hours and 2 minutes long, in my opinion, they could have cut out about 20 minutes.
Yeah, some ways with that. I saw in one of our judges' show was, I'm watching the show, do I want to get up and go into the kitchen and get something to eat, and I'm not worried about missing anything?
Yeah, I always say to my wife, she's like, hold on 1 sec. And I'm like, do you want me to pause it? And I can tell if she's into it or not. She's like, no, I can hear it from the other room. Or like this movie, do you want me to pause it? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of stuff in this movie.
Yeah, my wife and I just watched 2 seasons of a show that was called For All Mankind. It's about the NASA space program in the 60s, but it's part fiction, part fact. It's just really well done. We watched it.
Now, where do you find that on?
I think that's on Apple TV. And Joel Kinnaman is one of the big stars in it, who I like.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them are character actors. You don't hear a lot about them. Michael Dorman, Sarah Jones.
Yeah,
Brent Schmidt.
like third string actors.
Yeah.
You're like going, oh, you were in that show with the other show.
Yeah, and they're not household names like the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, but it starts out a little bit slow, but each episode that we watched got better and better, and they had some fantastic, real edge of your seat things going on with it, and good dialogue and good acting.
So what we have to come up with, Dan, is how many, they always say how many thumbs up, how many, whatever, how many.
Well, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I think it was well worth watching.
Right, but we have to come up with our own thing because it's DeaconLive, and how many switchboards, how many,
Oh, okay. How many Bud Lights do we give it?
how many millilights would you give this movie?
Oh, okay. I would give it 8 millilights out of 10.
That's a lot of Miller Lights, Dan.
Yes, that's what you can drink them. They're light beer.
Right. And what about the Hitman's Wife's Part 2 or whatever it's called?
I would give that about 3.
3?
And the photography was good, but it wasn't.
It's not photography, Dan. It's called cinematography.
The cinematography was good, but the writing was just poor. You weren't interested. It was mumbled and jumbled up.
Now, over the holiday weekend, the 4th of July holiday weekend, now we just showed the picture of you, Dan, and you had, 15 speakers and all these mixing things and all these 1978's analog things behind you in this picture that we just showed recently. And you're a big fan of music. You were listening to, what was it, or Jackson Brown? You were looking at a Jackson Brown album. What else did you do on the 4th of July weekend?
Oh, okay. For me, it was pretty quiet. We watched some shows. We had a yard sale in our development. I sold 6 birdhouses.
I'm talking about like music. Did you listen to music or anything? Did you have you're outside cooking or grilling or anything like that? Did you have music playing in the background?
No, not too much. But I did notice something on iTunes. The number 1 album this last week was from 1981. It's 40 years old, and that's Queen's Greatest Hits.
So the blue one? No, is it the blue one?
No, Joni Mitchell's Blue album.
Oh, okay.
Which is number 2, that was 1971. So that's a 50-year-old album. Is the number 2 on iTunes, and Creedence Clearwater's Greatest Hits is number 14.
CCR?
Yeah,
that's your wife's favorite band.
Well, no, one of them. I like them, and they're really not good musicians, but I like the way everything comes together. And
what scenario or what subject, what heading was these bands listed under? Like top pop, top rock, top.
Oh, these were just iTunes sales, not in any.
So like all over. So
Yeah.
even like Prince's album didn't show up, or Michael Jackson's album didn't show up.
I'm not sure on that, but I was just noticing that those were ones that a lot of these people, I'll look at these groups and I go, I don't know who this person is. And these are ones that I remember. And I just can't believe that stuff that's 40, 50 years old, people are still listening to it. And I mean, it's in the top number 1, number 2.
Well, just like the Beatles, the Beatles will never die. Well, at least a couple of them won't.
Yes. Yes, they'll have a reunion someday.
Right. I doubt they will. All right. Stick around. We got a couple more things, and we'll wrap up the show and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Oh, they're going to have when the other 2 die, they'll have a reunion. They'll all be together.
It'll be holograms.
You got zoomed out too wide, or?
It's okay to lie, Dan.
Yeah.
It's okay to lie. Yeah. Did you listen to music? No, but I was looking up something. No, Dan, you were listening to music.
Well, I didn't know where. And then I'd say, well, I'd tell you what I was listening to, and I don't. Actually, you know what's really funny? I was listening to on the way over here.
Oh God,
Jackson Brown.
Oh, ironic. Yeah. Isn't it ironic?
He such a wordsmith. His lyrics all tied together without having the. Certain people have to have things rhyme. You know, Mary had a little lamb. She kept it in her yard, like that. You know, when someone can make something that that's very interesting, I really like that. So.
All right, so we're gonna do go here. We're gonna do we have to touch on the last 2 topics. I should have let into or teased that when I left, but I didn't. I was too worried about you. We'll do Disney World is now woke, and we'll start talking about the fireworks and stuff. And then
Invisible car.
we'll talk about the invisible car, and then Skrinkflation. So basically, hold on, I gotta see how many breaks we've taken already. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, that'll be good. We'll do Disney's Woke. We'll talk about the firework cars, the Land Cruisers that flipped over. Actually, we'll talk about let's talk about Skrinkflation. We'll talk about Skrinkflation, the Land Cruisers flipping over, and Do You Mind? And we'll wrap it up with the invisible car, because you're going to be so surprised about the invisible car. Got it?
I just had to look up Land Cruiser's price just to start out.
Yeah.
Ron used to drive a truck delivering.
Yeah, I
cars,
know.
Yeah.
That's why I figured it was an interesting story, because you guys are friends or something.
We're all friends.
What do you think of those new stickers?
Yeah, I like them. But all I got was a proof one, not a real sticker.
Well, because I was trying to rip this thing open. Here you go. You want some?
No. Hey, you know those floss sticks, the ones that come with, they're like white plastic and they have like a hook on them? Individual. You know those individual floss sticks?
Like this?
Yeah.
I got a whole bag of them right here.
I know. I have about 6 or 7 of them. When I pulled the seat out of the truck.
Oh, was there all underneath?
Yeah. If you're missing any, I was going to run up to the dishwasher and bring them back. So.
No. You like those stickers?
Yes, I do like them.
The guy that the company I bought the stickers from, they always send me like hey, right now you can have 50% off of this. These, there's 50 of them in here. This hologram stickers is normally $80. I got it for 30.
Oh, that's good.
So anytime they send me something like that, that's why I'm trying to build the account and stuff so I can automatically just buy them and be done with them. Like these guys, this is the same set of stickers.
Okay.
I got them for $1. Same sticker.
Yeah. I like the hologram though. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah. So I got those, and anytime they send me something like that, I'll just
a way. Hear me out. I wish there was a way for you to do this on your end to switch in between cameras.
Yeah, but I can't access your screen. I know what you're saying.
It's just a thought.
Yeah,
We don't have to figure it out now.
well, you'd have to have this computer hooked up with that one between windows, and then it would actually go to that screen. I'd see it here.
Right. But you can't.
Windows
you can't
without
interfere
borders.
You can't interfere with what I'm seeing here.
I like the fact I can't blow up the system.
Can't blow up what?
I can't blow up the system.
My hands get a little sticky. You can't tell that I put makeup on, do you?
No, I can't. I am awful like that. I'll see somebody that's sick and yellow and dying, and I don't realize.
Hey, you want to go out for beer?
Yeah.
Oh, I got jaundice.
Kathy will go up to me. You look yellow. You look. I wouldn't know stuff like that. So, it was the Smash Brothers.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. We already have orders going out, Dan. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's
We mean, yeah, you can, or yeah, you can't believe it.
no, I can. Well, what do you expect?
Well,
You should have 'em.
the phone line was blowing up there, and my email was blowing up. So we have new orders for those new hologram DeaconLive stickers, and get yours right now. All you do is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the free swag section, and fill out that little form. We'll send it right to you. You can get some magnets. We have some big old car not big old car magnets, like 4x4 magnets. Goes on your bumper. Show your support for the show, and we would love that because we support you as well. Now, speaking of car magnets and car vehicles in general, now I have starting to purchase. You know, there's a microchip shortage here in the United States, so the vehicle that I bought or put on order is a 19. Listen, what year am I at? 2022 Chevy Silverado Deluxe, High Country Deluxe. And they said, yeah, we can make that all day long. I'm like, no. I want the technical package. I want all the cameras. I want all the running lights and the dashboards, and
You want all the bells and whistles.
I want all the bells and whistles. And if I'm going to spend, $80,000, $90,000 on a vehicle, I want all the stuff and still be usable, right? A truck, $80,000, $90,000 truck. I still want to be able to haul plywood.
When you were a kid and someone told you that you'd be spending that much money on a truck, yeah, if I won the lottery, yeah.
Well, I mean, times are tough, Dan.
Yeah, but that's twice what my first house cost. That's crazy, yeah.
I know. And then you run into a story like this. A car carrier. Now, Dan, are you familiar with a car carrier?
Yes, a friend of mine, Ron, used to drive one.
Now, how many cars can you get on a car carrier?
I would say 6 to 8.
6 to 8? I'm thinking more like 12.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it's a 48-footer. So a car carrier with the 2022 Toyota Land Cruisers SUVs has crashed en route to dealer.
That's not good.
Now, if you've been patiently waiting to take delivery on your 2022 Toyota Land Cruiser, your order might be delayed right now. A car carrier packed with the brand new LC300s was involved in an accident, and judging by the aftermath, it's safe to say that it was more than just a fender bender. The video is making the rounds on social media, showing that several SUVs, most of which appear to be completely totaled. So here we go. Let's see if I can play this video, and you can see the aftermath of the actual cars. Now, Land Cruisers, how much are Land Cruisers?
Well, they've got to go for 80, 85, 86,000 bucks to start.
What do you do with a Land Cruiser other than like chauffeur? If you're in Florida or in North Carolina, you're not going out mudding in it. You're not going up mountain trains like they show in the videos. You're not going to Colorado and driving up to the edge of the cliff and looking out over the sunset.
No, you're taking Timmy to soccer practice, and that's pretty much, you drive it to church on Sunday.
And then dropping him off at his dad's house because you've gotten a divorce because, the father's completely crazy.
Yes, and the mother's not far behind.
Right, I was just going to say, or it goes the opposite pendulum goes that way as well.
Yep.
So here's the video. I don't know if there's any sound or anything. So here's the video. Look at this, Dan. Look at these.
Oh, that's not good.
Look, they're driving down They're smacked. They're completely done. I'll watch again. I'll watch again on Instagram, I guess.
And this happened in Kurdistan?
This is Kurdistan Automotive. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Yeah, read this paragraph right here.
Yeah, details are slim at the moment of writing, but we do know the incident took place while the SUVs were headed to a dealership. It happened in Salalah, the third largest city in Oman, as Toyota's prioritizing the Land Cruiser's rollout in Arab countries where the reputable off-roader is a huge, successful commercial success. In fact, car trailers with the undisguised LC300s were spotted in that part of the world even before the official premiere on June 9th.
There you go. So here's the actual video. Let's see if we can get this to play. Thank you, Internet. What's this over here say?
Oh, that's all Greek to me.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if there's sound. Is there sound?
No, it doesn't look like there's any sound.
Anyway, so here's the vehicles. They're smashed. They're
yeah. Those are not fender benders. Those
are flipped over. Yeah, they're done. So I wonder what happened to the guy that was like, if he's driving for not an Assad, for like one of the main guys there.
Yeah, I think in our country he'd probably be fired. I think it's going to be something more serious if you're in Kurdistan.
What do you think's going to happen to him?
You won't ever see him again.
He will never stand again.
He'll be riding on a camel. That's about it.
Now, this video has gone viral. Do you ever have nosy neighbors, Dan?
Yes, we do. And in fact, my wife is a nosy neighbor. We're always looking to see what everyone else is doing.
So the answer is no, we don't have nosy neighbors. My wife knows everything that's going on.
My wife is the nosy neighbor, yes.
Right. Well, you can surely relate to this one woman's experience on TikTok, which is an occupier of the next door flat that was someone was staring right at her.
That's kind of rude.
However, this wasn't a typical case of a person with a bone to pick about a weekly trash collection or anything like that. So what's this person's name right here? This is a huge name. Dan, you're going to get it.
Malwina Ozuska.
Found herself being spied on by a cat. The footage was posted on a video shared app on July 5th under the account name
Betch.
Betch.
We can see that Ozuska is filming from a high-rise apartment block. The camera pans across the car park, and our eyes are drawn to a man walking away.
All right, so if you scroll down a little bit more in this video, now this video right here has gotten over 109,000 views in one day since it was posted, and also gained another 29,600 likes. And the caption is, "Do you mind?" And what's happening is she's watching out. Like many people in the comments, share their thoughts and funny clips.
It says, a TikTok user, Leslie Mack, wrote, "That's the best, LOLs, and woke up my dog." Another person, Berlin Mari, added, LMAO, didn't even notice the cat was just wondering about the guy.
So here's the video as soon as the internet catches up with, 2020 here.
Come on, I'm not getting any younger now.
Oh, here it is right here. So here's the video. As it loads. Now she's probably on like the 5th or 4th floor?
Yeah, I think it looks like it's about the 4th floor anyway.
Oh, Dan.
And you find this hilarious?
Well, I mean, the bubble's already popped, so. Which one's going to go first? I'm not broadcasting. Nope.
And Bubbles it's waiting.
I know. It's going to do one of those internet verification. Are you a human?
Why, robots watch videos?
I guess so. I don't know. How's your throat, by the way?
Oh, it's much better. That's all I needed. It was just a little dried out. So. I get it. Will tickle my. I'll watch something. It'll eat something. It'll tickle my throat, and I'll be. And my wife will say, "Will you stop it?" And
Oh, here we go. So here she goes. She's watching her boyfriend or whatever walk down the thing, and then there's this cat kind of peeks around the corner there, just out of nowhere, like around the scene. Like, hey, do you mind?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. My wife loves cats. She'll like that.
He's just sitting there. Meow, meow. One more time, in full form. She's watching her boyfriend, go out to his car, and then all of a sudden sees this little cat right here. So there you go.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. Now, something that's not cute, Dan. I'm a big fan of ice cream. I like to have. What's your favorite ice cream? Before I tell you mine.
Well, I like maple walnut, but you can't find it down here.
Why not maple walnut?
It's in New England, and nobody gets it down here. We happened to find it once at Food Lion.
Who makes the maple walnut? Is it Breyers? Is it?
I think it was Hood. I think Hood made it.
Hood?
Yeah.
What do you mean Hood?
Hood ice cream.
I've never heard of them.
Okay. That's because they're from New England.
Okay.
But maple walnut has, maple flavoring like maple syrup, and then it has walnuts in it, broken up walnuts.
What's the difference between that and peaches and pralines?
Well, a big difference.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know those flavors.
And we got some peach ice cream when we were down in Pinehurst, and they have a place that grows all these peaches, and they have their own homemade ice cream. And I got some peach ice cream, which is usually good, and it was so bland, and it tasted like a chemical peach, not the usual peach we're used to tasting. So
Now, when you go to get the store to get a gallon or a half gallon of ice cream, you're expecting a half gallon of ice cream, right? Now, of course, times have changed, and everyone goes now that it's not a half gallon of ice cream, it's like 1.9 liters or something of ice cream.
Yes, and they are shrinking the product and raising the prices.
Now, have you heard of the word shrinkflation?
Yeah, I can guess what that's gonna be.
It's the opposite of inflation. It's devious cousin that's happening right now because of the pandemic and everything that's going on. There's a shortage of chicken wings. There's a shortage of white chicken meat. Everyone's having to change and all that. Cars with microchips or the computer chips are not being made, so they're trying to downsize a lot of stuff. And one of the companies right now is General Mills. They're downsizing a lot of their products that are coming out right now. As a couple of weeks ago, Edgar Doriski walked up to a Stop and Shop grocery store in Somerville, Massachusetts, like a detective entering a murder scene. He stepped into the cereal aisle when he hoped to find a smoking gun. He scanned the shelves. Oh no, he thought. It was too late. The store had already replaced the old General Mills cereal boxes, such as Cheerios and Cocoa Puffs, with the new ones. And he thought there were suspicious fingerprints have been wiped clean completely. Now, what he's talking about is they've taken the family-size boxes from 19.3 ounces down to 18.1 ounces. Now, there's two theories that I have. One, I'm going to let you take the first one and give me your theories why they go from 19.3 ounces down to 18.1 ounces.
Well, that's 5%. You take 5% out of each box. After you sold 20 boxes, there's a free box. It's greed.
So you think that they're downsizing the boxes because is it greed, or are they lowering the production and they want to say, okay, this is now the big size?
It's just greed.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Here's my opinion, and I keep saying that. Here's my reason. Part 2. Family-size boxes. The word family in today's society, as far as we were talking about dropping little Timmy off in the Land Rover to go meet with Dad, and Dad gets the kid for the weekend, there's no need for a family-size box anymore. So the family-size boxes, other than those, I'm sure they sell great in California and Colorado where marijuana is completely, running rampant out there, which is fine. I agree with that. I support that as well. So, but the hippies aren't buying the cereal boxes.
I don't think 5% is going to change everyone's, oh, wow, it's 5% less. I can fit this in my cabinet better.
But exactly what you were just saying. I don't think the family atmosphere of a family-sized box, that family aura, is not prevalent as much anymore as it was maybe 20 years ago, even 15 years ago.
I go to Aldi's and I get the family-sized box of Crispy Oats. It's $2 cheaper than the General Mills. Tastes exactly the same, and I get family size, and I'm the only one who eats it.
But I can tell you, I can't count how many times I've been into Walmart and walked down the aisles, and I can see the single dad in there, whether he's white or black or whatever the case may be. He has gotten the little fruit juicer things. He's gotten breakfast for the morning and probably something light, hot dogs or a pizza or bagel bites for dinner. And I'm like going and I go on Fridays. I'm like going, that guy right there has probably got the kid for the weekends. He's not looking to spend $9 on the family size, the 19.3 ounce box of cereal. He wants to. Why do I have to buy the family box?
Those boxes are the same price.
I know they're the same price, but they're dropping it down.
Yeah, I mean, he's not looking at it and say, gee, 19.3 ounces is way too much for my kid. 18.0, that would be fine. No, they're just greedy.
So,
Yeah.
and you said it exactly. They're downsizing. Shrinkflation means the same thing. The former Massachusetts Assistant Attorney General and longtime consumer advocate, he has spent many decades tracking this instance and companies shrinking the products on his website, Mouseprint. So if you, Dan, pull up mouseprint.com and see what he's got going on. While he's doing that, he refers to it as by the original name, downsizing. But economist Pippi Melgreen,
Pippa Malgrum.
yep, re-Christianized it as shrinkflation about a decade ago. The term just stuck. Downsizing the shrinkflation. I feel bad. I feel like I'm in a porn movie with like small dicks or something. Both refer to the same thing. Companies reduce the size or the quantity of the product while charging the same price or even more. Downsizing really is a sneaky price increase. Consumers tend to be price conscious, but when they're not net weight conscious, they can tell instantly if they are used to paying $2.99 for a carton of juice, and then it goes up to $2.19.
Yeah.
What do you got?
And I see that, and I see sometimes I'll see packages that are coming smaller. You know, it may go from 64 ounces to 59. I notice a lot with candy bars. Candy bars are so much smaller than they were.
I
when the price
remember
went up.
like Oreo cookies or Chips Ahoy cookies. They used to be in sleeves, long sleeves, and there used to be 50 in a sleeve, and there was 2 in the package. Now they come in that little plastic tray where they're all individually standing up like little soldiers, and there's probably half as many cookies in that tray.
No, and it's all greed. It's business. They if people don't notice it, I was looking on a site for Mouseprint, and they're they
Just
sued.
continue.
They sued Barilla, claiming the pasta packages were misleading, and they used the same size boxes, even though the contents varied from 12 to 16 ounces. Sometimes you get the same size box, so I do notice it when you're shopping.
Well, that's good. So there you go. Shrinkflation. It's happening right under our noses, little by little. Here's a prime example right here. A 13 ounce box of Cocoa Puffs and the 18.1 box. It's the 19 is wider and shorter. The 18.1 is narrow and taller. So it gives you the illusion that it's more.
So speaking of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs,
Right?
How are you doing today, Travis?
I'm doing well. Why? I'm always. It's a never-ending battle here. All right, when we come back, speaking of never-ending battle, we'll get into some of these 4th of July battles that people had with neighbors and the crazy videos that have popped up on the internet. And I got a funny, Dan, have you ever driven an invisible car?
No, I haven't.
Well, Wonder Woman has an invisible plane. This guy has an invisible car, and he puts it on the internet. And we'll dive into that here.
I'm dying to see it.
Just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back.
Do you know, if I don't drink enough water, I get tired and sleepy. Tom Brady drinks 37 bottles of water a day.
He has to take a lot of vitamins, though.
Yeah, they say if you're putting 12 ounces of spaghetti in a box made for a full pound, it can be classified as slack fill. That's the non-functional empty airspace in a product. It can lead shoppers to getting more content. So,
Oh, we got to talk about Disney being woke. That's how we'll start it. All right. Pete, one more time. I think this is our last. This should be our last breakdown. I'm sorry to keep you.
no, it's
Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that should be 8. So that's 16. And I could probably squeeze in 1 or 2 in between. So that'll be 18. And I'll just tell someone else to go to hell. Hate to say that, but it's the nature of the beast, Dan.
yeah. Andy Dice Clay had a show called The Blue Show where they had different comedians come on. He would just introduce them and they'd all come on. Mm-hmm. And the Smash Brothers were one. And the two brothers, just their coordination between the two of them
Make sure you take some eggs home, Jack.
Oh, yes. They do taste. This is different. Not night and day difference. But
All right. What time we got here? We're at 1:40. Yeah. I think I can trim that down to 1:30. Let's do Walt Disney's World. Walt Disney World is woke.
now, what does the woke term mean? What is
Woke means they're more open to, for example, we're killing cats. We're killing cats to make dog food. And people come, you shouldn't kill cats to make dog food because the world needs cats and all that blah, blah, other stuff. And no. And all of a sudden we see that there's a mouse problem in the world because there's no cats. And you're like going, well, shit, okay, got it. I'm awake. I'm aware
of it.
I'm
Okay.
aware of them now.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna see if we can crank this out into 2 segments because we got 20 minutes before we hit the 2-hour mark. So we're gonna do Disney World's woke, and then we'll talk about Karen on the 4th of July, screaming and yelling, and then we'll talk about. We'll cram it in.
Speaking of Disney, what kind of
What?
mouse can walk on 2 feet?
I don't know.
Mickey Mouse.
Is that like science fact or something, or did you just make that up?
No, it's Mickey Mouse is the only mouse that can walk on 2 feet.
What about the rabbit?
Do you know what kind of duck can walk on 2 feet?
Donald.
No, all of them can.
Stupid.
Hey, sometimes you'll have like a little niece over you, they'll have some.
All right, so we're doing that, and Dan's canceled from doing jokes. Karen on the 4th of July.
I have my next door neighbor's named Karen, but she's actually all right. She's like 80 years old. Her husband just passed away, but she's nice.
So is she nicer because he passed away? Oh, you know what we watched the other night, speaking of passing away, is remember I told you about that docuseries, the documentary about the villages in Florida?
Yes, where they were all got the golf carts, and some of them for Trump, some of them for...
Yeah. I watched it. We watched it last night. It was like an hour and 10 minutes long, and it was like, oh, really?
I watched a 3-hour documentary on a 2-hour movie, and it was very fascinating.
That's her.
And we watched the movie Blade Runner, and we watched how they made it.
The original one with Mel Brooks? Or
No.
Mel Gibson?
No, the original Blade Runner was Rutger Hauer and Harrison Ford.
That's
yeah.
what I meant. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking Mad Max.
Yep. And it was such, back for its time, it was so good. It was 82. Mm-hmm. And none of the effects were done with computers. They were all filmed and over-filmed and different things.
Well, it's kind of like what Star Wars did.
Yeah.
You know, everything that they had to...
Yeah, and watching it was great. And there was another documentary I watched about Sad Hill. Do you ever remember The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
With Tim Conway.
Clint Eastwood.
Well, him too.
Yeah.
He was in it.
Yeah.
Well, Tim Conway was cut from the movie,
Yeah.
and they replaced him with Clint Eastwood.
Yes, and Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and who was Tuco? Eli Wallach, and they had this gunfight with 3 people in this cemetery, and it was like such a fantastic scene that was filmed, and the movie was made in 1969 or something like that, and the place where they filmed it, the Italian army came and set up all these things, and 40 years later, it was all blown in with dust and everything, and they had people got together that liked that movie and watched it, and they restored the whole scene back exactly the way it was during the movie. Crews hundreds of people came and did it all together. And then when they got it all together, Clint Eastwood was there, and people that were involved in it talked to the crowd, and it was pretty amazing how all these people got together. It was that film meant so much to them. Like you said you went to art class. If there was a film class, if there was a film that you really saw, and it was something that said, "I love this. This is really great." I'm thinking if you could get these videos on YouTube, and then you download them to your computer, you don't have the.
But
the
there's articles attached to it. That's the thing.
Yeah. But you could save the article, but you'd have the film ready to roll without the buffering. And sometimes you can't find them in.
Yeah, but I still have the article. I still have to go to the website and get the article.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, if you say, hey, this is, if it's a way I could download them, have them all like on a thumb drive or something, so you didn't have to wait, and then you could delete them later.
This is the first time this has happened because of they're doing stuff on the internet. Normally we have everything. Everything's up and running and smooth.
Well, it never did this when the guy was mowing his lawn.
Nope.
It's the lawnmower. You could troubleshoot. I mean, it's what's missing.
I don't know. You ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you join us on all of your social network pages, and the way you do that is go to prophradio.com, PROPHET radio, and we got some brand new stickers in, and they just came in literally hot off the presses, is what they say in the biz. And the way you get those is to go to Prophet Radio and click on Free Swag. And make sure while you're there, you follow us on all your links and stuff, and you can see every video that we do here. And we're live in the studio. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I have to tell you, these are holographic stickers, and they look fantastic.
Yeah, you like them?
Yes.
You got a couple home to take home to the kids, or stick them on the neighbor's cats and let them walk around with it. Now, we had this past weekend was 4th of July weekend, and here on the Franch, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We're sitting on about 22 some odd acres. It was completely silent all day long on actual 4th of July. It was quiet. And normally on the backside of the property, the 100 and some odd acres that's behind us, they fire off guns. And, bang, 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 all day long. Nothing. It was quiet all day long, quiet all day. As soon as that sun set, our neighbors next door, and when I say next door, they're probably, a half a mile down the road. They must have had all their friends over with all their little weapons that they haven't fired off all year outside of New Year's Eve. They were out there shooting at targets. Like, they would, 6 at a time. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. And then we'd see fireworks up over, overhead. And so my wife's freaking out because we have horses and we have cattle and stuff, and she's afraid of like a stampede.
No, and they bothered the dogs too.
They bothered the dogs. Well, our dogs are big fat dogs. One's 14 years old. We have a 14-year-old English bulldog. She's deaf. And then we have a 11-year-old bulldog, and she's got. Remember I told you about the ear canal?
Drainage,
the drainage and stuff. She can't hear anything. So they sleep like a baby the whole entire time. But we have, our bread and butter is our livestock. And she's worried about a stampede and everyone running around and stuff. And I'm like going, babe, if it continues past 10:30, I will go out there and say something. I said, give them till 10:30 and then we'll be done, because that's normally when everything kind of calms down. And sure enough, 10:45, she's like, I heard gunshots. I'm like, give them another 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we're good, right? Sure enough, we're good. Now, some people, they don't want to go see fireworks in the neighborhood. They don't want to have to deal with all that stuff. So they go to like theme parks. They go to like our little park here in Marshville. We had a park that had our little central park here in Marshville had a fireworks display. They had it a week earlier. I don't understand that. They had it a week earlier.
Yeah, well, that's probably they probably figured nobody would be there and they could do it without people getting hurt.
Well, I mean, maybe they were worried about like competitors or just waking up all the dogs. Maybe they were trying to be dog and pet friendly.
Well, sometimes if it's professional, sometimes you may have 8 different people that do it professionally, and they may have 14 towns that they need to do it in, and scheduling wise, they can't be at every place at the same time.
So the benefit of them, I guess, firing everything off on June 30th, which was the Friday before, or when was 4th of July? Hold on, I got to.
4th of July was on Sunday.
Okay, so they did it the Friday before or something stupid like that. So I guess they didn't want to scare all the animals, so they just said, here we go.
I think it was availability of the fireworks company. Not everybody does it.
No, but this company right here, have you heard of a theme park called Disney World, Walt Disney World?
Yes, I have.
Now, Walt Disney World, I'm a Floridian, born and raised in Orlando, Florida, and I've been to Walt Disney World many times. I've seen all the fireworks display, and every time they have a fireworks display or anything that they have, like where everyone goes in and it's a big crowd for one event, they always go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we present to you the whatever 1999 2000 fireworks display. Happy 4th of July. Now, Disney World this year has gotten even more woke than before. Back in May.
I reported on how.
Hold on.
Okay.
As it turns out, Disney continues to get more woke. As Owen Payne, the reporter for WDW, Walt Disney World News Today, instead of saying, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dreamers of all ages, the greeting now will represent and still say good evening, and then just completely leave out ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and just go straight to dreamers of all ages. So they've taken out ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls because now they're more woke. They don't want to offend anyone. Now, if you're a 3-year-old child, I'm saying child, or 5-year-old child, and they say boys and girls, is a 5-year-old child going, what's a boy? What's a girl?
Well, I think if I was there and all they said was "Good evening, dreamers of all ages," I'd turn around and just leave. I'd just be fed up.
Why? Why
No,
would
I'm
you
just
say
kidding. It's
yeah. Now, here's the funny part, Dan. Do you know what the Dreamers and Doers Award is?
No, I do not.
All right. So you are in the presence of a recipient of the Dreamers and Doers Award.
Is it just it's a participation award?
No, it is not a participation award or a speech award.
So, I'm talking to royalty right now.
You are talking to somewhat Disney royalty. What they do is they pick out one child from each school that has represented that school and has excelled and represented all the values that Disney represents.
Okay, now they would probably take it away from you if they knew what you became when you grew up.
Oh, that's the funny part.
Yeah.
So when I was in 6th grade at Weingard Elementary School in Orlando, Florida, out of the whole entire school, I was chosen to be I think it was the 1985 Dreamers and Doers Award for my whole entire school. And the reason why my teacher told me, the person that said, hey, we're giving you this award, it's a big event. You have to go to Walt Disney World. You get the whole, shebang and, all this stuff. My mom and dad went. And my teacher said, the reason why we're giving you this award is because we've seen how well and how far and how smart you are that you've advanced from 1st grade to 6th grade and how well you adapted to everything and the way you treat society and the way you treat other people. And I was like going, I'm in 6th grade. I'm like going, yay, I'm going to Disney World.
Yeah, you don't care about the other parts. Why?
But then I learned later on, all the different, from every high school, there was one person. From every junior high or middle school, when they changed over, there was one person. So for every school, there was one person chosen out of that whole school. And I was that one person in 1985.
So you're special.
I am special. Now, speaking of special, here's the actual video. Hold on. Bad luck. Here's the actual video from what happened. And at Disney World when they started the fireworks display this past 4th of July weekend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dreamers of all ages.
Now, that's in 2020, so that's what they normally say.
In just a few minutes, the Magic Kingdom invites you to enjoy our nighttime spectacular, Happily Ever After. Good evening, dreamers of all ages.
Now, this is in 2021. This is the new broadcast that they say.
Good evening, dreamers of all ages. In just a few minutes, the Magic Kingdom
dreamers of
invites
all
you
ages.
to enjoy our nighttime spectacular, Happily Ever After.
I think I've said ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, about 8 million times. I don't know.
Good evening.
So there you go. So they've taken that out and just saying, welcome, everyone, dreamers and doers. And that's what the whole thing is. And that's what I said about the whole.
Yeah, I mean, with everything going on in the world, that to me is nothing I'd worry about.
Well, this woman right here, speaking of everything going on in the world, this is what they call the 4th of July Karen. Now, like my wife, she was up late at night worrying about all the fireworks going off. She was worried about the gunshots going off. And they were sporadically, they would happen like every, 5 or 6 minutes and then go on.
My wife was worried about that. We're watching our neighbor's dog, and she freaks out.
Now, how well did she freak out? Was she calm in the house freak out, or is she like on the phone dialing 9-1 and then waiting for that last one?
No, my wife didn't freak out. The dog freaks out. The dog, it really bothers the dog. So we gave her half a pill that she took, and my wife took a bunch of cushions, put it around the chair, and put a little hiding place where the dog could go in and feel safe, and she'd go in there, and that helped cure it.
But the dog survived.
Yes, the dog survived.
And I said this last time. I said we have thunderstorms and lightning storms and all the thunder and cracking. We got this storm Elsa coming through right now, and who knows what it's going to whip up. All these animals once a year they get fireworks, and then every other time during the year the thunderstorms don't bother them.
No, well, this dog gets bothered by thunderstorms too, but the thunderstorms maybe last 40 minutes or something. There was a lot. Saturday night, July 3rd, there was a lot, and July 4th, there were a lot of them.
So what would happen? What would happen with the dog? Now, we had a miniature pinscher that would walk around the house and just pant.
Yeah.
How long are you going to let me go, Dad?
Marley would do that. Well, you're doing it so well. Marley would freak out like that, and Marley would, be running around, and she'd be barking. And you could just see she was nervous and, barking, and it was bothering her.
Now, your wife didn't get as crazy as this woman right here on 4th of July.
No, my wife didn't crazy. She just she spent all her time just making sure the dog was okay.
Well, this woman right here on TikTok, you can see her. They've labeled her as the Karen on the 4th of July. Now, here she comes. She's out in her, looks like her night clothes, pajamas. I don't see any shoes on. And if you want to see this video, the way you see that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on DeaconLive, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here you go. Let's see. It's gonna get really, really crazy. Now, granted, those are pretty loud fireworks. They are loud. She's yelling at the ground, "Stop! Stop!" I should warn everyone, if you've got us playing the Deacon Live podcast playing on your outdoor speakers, this is probably going to freak the dogs out as well. Someone goes, "We do this all the time." She's holding on to the mailbox.
What the fuck are you filming me for? What I'm doing is not wrong. I live here.
That is, not for nothing. That was very excessive for a neighborhood.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, the fireworks, not her yelling.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual fireworks, because it looked like zero property lines. So if you fire anything out in the middle of the street, it's going to echo on all those houses.
Yeah, and I can understand it freaking out, but Now when they have videos and stuff like that, you just stay in the house.
You can.
Yeah.
You can stay in the house. Now some people. All
Okay,
right.
you go.
All right. Now some people, and I'm going to tell you about this story right here. Oh, I hit the wrong damn button. It's gonna try to pull up this. Hold on. Close. Thank you.
Are you new here?
Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, fuck. The thing popped up when I was trying to switch screens, and it made me close this out.
It's all good. Till it isn't.
I know. So one thing that actually happened to me, I borrowed my mom's car. It was close to the 4th of July weekend. And do you know what a Dodge Aries K car is?
Yes, I do.
Can you explain it to me?
Well, those are just a square box, and they have the front wheel drive and the 4-cylinder. Actually, they took those cars and made them into the Dodge Caravans. That's when they really started making money. But they were just a kick around, get basic transportation, get you around.
And it was nice because sometimes they had like a real nice interior. The interior was nice and plush. They had bucket seats. They had the quadraphonics stereo. I remember doing that. It had a little joystick right there on the dashboard that made all the sound and everything.
Yeah, and Lee Iacocca, he loved that car.
Did he? And so my mom and dad had one. And it was champagne color with a burgundy inside. I mean, we're talking like 1980s, late 80s, I guess is what it was. And my mom, I had a driver's license, so I was 16, and we were driving around. And my mom let me borrow the car. It was 4th of July. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My mom was like going, yeah, you can drive the car around. Just make sure you pick me up after work. I get off at 6 o'clock and whatever the case is. And I said, all right, so I'm driving around. It's 4th of July weekend. And, we're driving around and watching the fireworks and doing all that stuff. So my best friend at the time, unfortunately, he's passed away. Yeah. I had a lot of friends pass away in my time. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, yes, sir.
So this kid I was best friends with, you know what a rose fireworks is, or a firework is? A rose. So it's about 2 inches long, about as thick as my thumb. And you light the fuse, and it's got a spout on one side, and it goes.
Oh, and it's spinner, yeah.
And it spins, but it makes a rose color because it spits out the side. So it spins and makes like it's yellow and then green and then red, and it goes and it dies.
It kind of hovers and takes out. Yeah.
Now in Florida, of course, fireworks are illegal in Florida. Now they've found rules and stuff to pass. We're scaring animals away. So all we had was snakes, sparklers, all the ground stuff, and these roses. Now, if you did them just right, you can hollow out the backside of the rose, light it, and throw it, and it would explode into these colors. Well, at the time, we were driving around and lighting these roses and throwing them out on the street as we're driving around. Now, my friend and I, we were in International Drive, which is now where Universal Studios is. And it was packed back then. And he lit the rose, and it's lighting in the car. And I'm looking in my mirrors. I'm like, shit, there's a cop two cars back. He's like, I've already lit it. What am I supposed to do? I'm like, dude, I don't know. He throws it on the floorboard and steps on it like it's going to go out. Yeah. And the way he stepped on it, the little flame that shot out the side of it, shot right into the floorboard. So now I have a 3/4 inch hole burnt through your
parents' new car.
My parents' new car, and my mom and dad go, well, what happened? I go, well, someone drove by and threw a sparkler in a car, and that's what happened. And that was the story.
I think you owe it to your parents to call up and confess.
No, I'm not. They can listen to the show. Now, this guy right here, actually, this is what happened to them in the same sense. This guy pulled up next to, this is in Nashville. In Nashville, Tennessee, a dashboard camera video captures someone that threw a lit firework into a car that stopped in Midtown intersection on the night of 4th of July. Someone in that car tossed a large lit firework into a convertible, which had the top down, striking her son in the back of the head. He quickly reached back and picked it up and tried to toss it away. It burned him and then he then dropped it. So this is the actual video of actually what happened in that scene. So this was all caught on dashboard cam.
You got to go to the beginning.
All right, new this morning, and a mom's hoping.
You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Find the person responsible for tossing a firework into her son's car here in Nashville.
Boom.
She shared this terrifying video.
Look at that.
It looked like a dud at first, but then it exploded once. And just again,
Threw it
take a
in.
look at that car right there. That's dash cam footage, by the way. Thankfully, these dash cams are everywhere these days. It was July 4th. It was by a friend who was actually driving behind her son. He was burned when the firework went off, and the top of the convertible has to be replaced.
And that's not a rose. That's a
lot of
huge
We've
thing.
reached out to
it
Metro
could have
Police
been
to
much
see where
worse.
this investigation stands. So
You can see it looks
this
like it
story's
hits her in the head.
ongoing, but you get a really
Watch.
good look of that car. Either is it a Nissan or Infiniti?
Yeah, it was a son. It was a boy.
Yeah. So there you go. And it blows up in his car. So I'm like looking at that going, holy shit. I mean,
Yeah.
how stupid are you?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I mean, with fireworks, is usually always a tragedy. Happens every year. And this year, Mattis Kevelniks, he's a goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets of the NHL.
Uh-huh.
His job is stopping a 3-inch by 1-inch frozen hockey puck coming at him at 95, 96 miles an hour.
I can't even imagine that. You know, they say one of the hardest thing is to hit a 99 mile an hour fastball. What's the second hardest thing?
Yeah.
Catching it.
Yeah, and trying to stop that with your body. That's what he does for a job. That's how dangerous his job is. He died Sunday after an accident with fireworks.
Well, how'd he die?
Somebody had set off the fireworks. The display tilted and shot it sideways and hit him right in the chest. It was like a mortar. It was like being in a war. He was able to. He was in a hot tub. He got out of the tub. They got him to the ambulance. He told his friends. He goes, "No, don't come with me. You stay there." And he died of internal injuries. 24 years old.
They couldn't save him or anything.
No, there's such internal injuries. It's it's worse than getting hit with a 99 mile an hour fastball. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you've seen 99 mile an hour fastballs hit people in the head and they survive.
Yep.
So you're talking about this like.
Yeah, this was like a rocket. It had to be going more than 99 miles an hour.
Jeez, Louise, you never know. Dan, you never know.
No, and you just happened to be, he was at his coach's, he's a goalie. He was at the coach's house for the summer training, and they had a wedding that afternoon and a party that night.
Jeez.
4th of July. So.
That was it.
Wrong place at the wrong time.
How old was he?
24 years old.
Gee, just starting his career. All right, when we come back, we got one more, actually 2 more stories to talk about, and we'll let you get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Oh, we'll do these 2 real quick.
Yeah, I think that one went good.
That did. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Well, when you had the fireworks, I wanted to tie that in. So.
Right.
Oh, I worked in the junkyard when I was like 24 years old, and I found a pack of firecrackers there. And instead of lighting them off and being a jerk and lighting them off at work, I said, no, I'll take them home and I'll blow them off for my nephews and nieces later on. This is a workplace. And I stuck them in my right front pocket. Didn't think about it. I said, I'll take them home. A couple hours later, somebody needed to get the rear end out of a car. So I went over with the forklift.
Easy.
Yep.
Still paying on those.
Yep. I went over with the forklift, lifted the car up on its end, tilted it on it, just laid it back so it's leaning backwards, and went out and got the torch and cutting out the rear end with the torch. One of the sparks went into my pocket. I didn't even think about them till they started off. The whole pack of firecrackers went off in my pocket. And it hurt like a bastard, but it didn't you know, I mean, it was all red and burnt, but it was, you know, didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. But
my dad,
yeah.
He was a mortgage broker. You know what a mortgage broker?
Yeah.
So he gets points for selling a loan. And in the 80s, interest rates were like 11%. They were like crazy. So my dad was making money hand over fist. And then the Ronald Reagan came in and, you know, lowered all the interest rates and all that stuff. So my dad actually had to get a job to make ends meet driving a taxi. And he was driving a taxi in just Orlando area. He knew the streets. You know, we were all born and raised there. Not my dad, but anyways, he was taking these two black kids and dropped them off on what they call Paramore, which is a horrible black neighborhood. And he's like, all right, that'll be $35.50. And the kid lit a thing of fireworks and threw it on his lap. And it popped and popped and popped. It blew holes in my dad's shorts. Yeah. He called the police. They found the guys. My dad had welts all over his legs and stuff. Sued him. Kids went to jail, all that stuff.
Oh, good. They caught him then.
Yeah, they caught him right away. Yeah. Because the kids were dumb. They were like going, well, sir, where'd you pick the kids up? Over here. Where'd you drop them off? In front of their house.
Yeah. And I could see one of the kids go, hey, we do this. We're not going to have to pay. We don't have any money. But it's...
So that was one of my dad went through a lot, you know, to make ends meet.
My father had his one job that he'd work in. I think it was $125 a week, and we didn't get a lot of stuff. And anything I got, you'd go to the dump, you go find a bike, you'd mow somebody's lawn, you kind of like what I'm doing now is being retired.
Yeah.
You do this, you do that. At least I'm not doing anything degrading except like that Wednesday gig, you know.
All right. She hounding you?
We had an accident in the our neighborhood. A girl was going about 60 miles an hour in a car, went off the road, and flew into the woods.
Well,
they had a whole bunch of ambulances and things down there. So.
Good. All right, here we go.
So you want me to see something that doesn't exist? Okay.
Well, I'll get into it. So I'll bring you in. You ready?
Okay.
Welcome back to DeaconLive. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us and doing everything that links us to you and you to us as well. We appreciate that. And to show our appreciation, go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Get yourself some free stuff. And click on some free swag. We'll send you out some stickers, some magnets, and all that stuff to just show some appreciation for you guys. Oh, get off of here. Get off. And over to my far right-hand side, I have IT Dan. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what you're doing with your mic.
Well, I get a bug or two in here. Okay. And I'm looking at my Ring camera that's connected to my phone. Do you have a Ring camera or any kind of outside, like security or anything? I don't want to.
No, I don't.
No, Dan, you're supposed to say, yes, I do. I have guns and missiles and stuff.
No, we have a moat around our house.
So we have a Ring camera, and it's funny because sometimes I got a little flag out there that says welcome, and if it flutters too much, it sets off my Ring camera. Now, this couple right here, I want to show you this video. We were talking about fireworks earlier, and, dogs are scared of fireworks, and everyone gets, petrified. Stop shooting fireworks off. Well, this dog right here, to continue with the 4th of July motif here, a dog was spooked by fireworks and returns home after fleeing by ringing the doorbell cam at 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So I thought it was kind of funny. And if you guys want to see this video for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well that runs in tandem with it. And you can see this video live on the thing. We were dying laughing, they said, describing the Ring camera footage as their floppy ear pup's latest trick. So here you go. So the dog comes home. Play. Thank you. It's going to be a commercial. Watch.
Runaway dog comes home. And just to make sure his owners know she's...
Oop.
There, she rings the doorbell to get in.
What was your reaction to seeing the ring cam?
We were dying laughing.
The rescue puppy named Raja ran away from home after being spooked by early 4th of July fireworks in the South Carolina neighborhood.
Had Raja ever gotten out before?
She's gotten out, and we've seen her run down the street, and then we get her back within 5-10 minutes.
But this time, 8 long hours went by and still no Raja. Was she gone for good? Then, in the middle of the night, came that doorbell ring. Surprising Mary Lynn Whitcare and Ryan Rashik.
Can you get your dog to ring the doorbell like that?
No.
No?
I heard the doorbell ring, and I just look outside, and I thought someone had maybe brought back our dog.
But it was Raja herself who cleverly used her nose to ring the doorbell. Home sweet home.
That's a sweet story.
What a smart dog, huh? Knew to ring the doorbell. They must have trained that before. Now, speaking of being trained before and a smart dog, Dan, you ready for this? This is the moment you've been waiting for.
Yes.
This gentleman right here is a TikTok. Now, are you on TikTok yet, Dan?
No, but I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Now, I'm on TikTok, and I just sit there and watch the videos because I think they're just so funny. The filters are so funny. I haven't posted any videos yet. Maybe Dan and myself can post some videos, and we'll figure out how to make a 100,000, 200 million followers and make a little bit of money doing that as well. This gentleman right here is what they call a invisible car. Now, he has posted this invisible car. He sits there and drives, and it's hard to explain. For more information, you need to watch this video. All right, so hold on. So what happens is, now Dan, explain it to me, because if I explain it, I already know what's going on. So here we go.
Okay.
So what are you looking at here?
Right now I'm looking at a gentleman with shorts and a Nike tank top, and sneakers, sitting in his car.
It's not a car. He's sitting on in his living room floor,
sitting
right?
on his living room floor, like one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the shifter.
Like a kid would do, like pretending that he's driving, right?
Yeah, with nothing but the floor there.
All right, so hold on. Make sure I got all the videos up so everyone can see this at the same time. All right, so here we go. You ready, Dan?
I'm ready.
I want Dan, IT Dan, to explain how this could happen. So here we go. When someone challenged me, this is a whole thing. So here we go. Okay. You saw what happened? What happened?
Yeah. Oh, he went off the car and drove around.
Okay. So he just...
Okay.
Tell me what's happening, Dan.
Okay. Now he's pretending to be driving in the car, stepping on the shifter. Okay.
So what's happening is, so Dan's not very...
Oh, I'm looking at how he does it.
So the gentleman is sitting in like a tank top or shorts, a tank top and whatever. He's a tall gentleman, a slender gentleman, very fit gentleman. He's sitting on the floor, pretending that he's driving a car like you would as a child, sitting on the floor, and then all of a sudden he turns this fake steering wheel to the left, and he literally goes shoot right off the side of the screen. There's no strings. There's no motion. He's not sitting on anything. He just all of a sudden disappears off the screen to the left. So
play it right now.
All right, play it right now. That's what Dan says. Here we go. Puts the car in gear. See you later.
Oh.
So then people started challenging him to do different things, like do it from a different angle. I want to see you pour water. There might be, the floor's uneven and things like that. So he's taking them up. Now, this challenge right here says, okay, now do donuts. So now he's going to sit down, put a seatbelt on, fire the car up, make-believe car, do a donut. Puts a seatbelt on, starts the fake car up, puts it in gear, takes off. Now do it from a different angle. I want to see your back. Same thing, same exact format. How's he doing it, Dan? Now put a mirror behind you. He said it's all reverse. This one's like all reverse. Like you've already slid into the room. Pour water. See what they're saying? They're trying to... Sits down, puts the seatbelt on, cranks it up, puts it in gear. See you later. Move something in the background. He's picking up stuff in the background. Dan's...
Okay.
You want me to pause it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I see. What I think he's doing is someone is filming it, and they're pausing it, and he moves a little bit. They take another picture. It's like slow motion animation. He's doing all these things, and the person's taking them, and then he morphs them all together in a video.
I don't know, Dan.
Yeah, I think that's all video.
Do it somewhere else. Here's another one. Do it somewhere else. Now he looks like he's in the bedroom or something. Drive another direction. Starts it up. Same thing.
If I had this video and you move it frame by frame.
Everyone is stumped. Everyone is stumped that this guy, look, he's got our console right there. Do it in jeans.
Yeah, that's just slow motion, like claymation.
No.
Yeah.
There's something going on. Yeah. That might have been a cut right there. Not for nothing. That could have been a cut right there.
But when I was looking at the part with the basketball, when he moved the basketball, the TV and the basketball was jumping. So he,
Did it really?
Yeah, it wasn't in the same.
Let me go back to that one because that was like in the first one. Here we go. And
yeah, the TV was on.
TV was on. We're going back. Dan might have figured it out. There it is. All right, so here's the one with the basketball on the screen. Hold on. Yeah, still move. Still the same. You don't know. I think he's tricked you, Dan.
Yeah.
I think he's fooled you. Now, if you want to see this video, the way you see that is go to ProfitRadio.com. I'll put it up on the shared on section, and you can figure out for yourself if that is it a trick? Is he figured out something crazy?
I think somebody stops it. He moves a little bit. They take another film it, another one, and then you smooth
Easy
them all
on
together.
Dan's excited. He's hitting the microphone. He's all over the place.
Okay. Yeah, I have seen some things. I look at it and I go, I can't tell you why, but I think that when they stop, they move a little bit, and then they stop and move a little bit. So,
I don't know. All right. On that note, speaking on stopping and moving a little bit, I'd like to thank IT Dan for joining us this week.
Oh, I had a good time, and I did enjoy what the guy was doing. It's entertainment. That's the bottom line.
On behalf of you guys listening to us, I'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. My name is the DeaconLive, my name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Kathy was calling me saying, where are they?
Cut out your good night. I get the last word, Dan.
Okay. No, I did enjoy that. I think that was a good show. I think we did.
All right. Wait, before you leave, wave the camera, say goodbye. Nope. This camera up here. Nope. This one right here is yours.
I know, I moved it and put it back where it was. So.
No, just tilt it up and say goodbye. Put it up to your nose for all I care. Ready?
Yep. Wiggly fingers.